Is that somehow
Oh,
working,
you're
or does it
streaming
just?
again?
Yes, I'm streaming today.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
it
am still
works.
Greece.
Yes, Nick is in Greece. Malaka.
Huh. Greasy
Hela
ball.
Malaka.
Isn't that a
That's
curse
Baf.
word?
Bafs,
Yes,
why do you
yes.
smell like dandelions?
It is a curse word, but it's used so often it doesn't count.
All right, now
But you use it for friends as well.
the overlay
Exactly.
seems to work, so that is great. We can now see the characters on the stream. That works.
Ooh,
So
check that out.
then, in order to give the viewers live updates, please update your hit points and stuff on your character sheets on D&D Beyond accordingly,
No.
and then everybody can see how your character is doing. Anyhow,
No.
we are live, and with that, I'd like to welcome you guys to our. Where are we actually? I didn't change the. Yeah,
I'm
I
in
forgot.
the HQ. I don't know where you guys are.
I forgot the naming thingy of the stream. Meh. All right.
Oh.
We will figure it out later. Anyhow, I think we are in session 34.
You want me to change it? I can do it.
Possibly.
Real quick. I only have like the DNDB icon, but there's nothing displayed. And when I click on it, only that I could like implement it on my channel. So I get like some options and stuff, but I don't.
No, that is implemented on the SwissRPG channel. You can't do anything
Yes,
there.
and I'm watching the stream right now.
Yeah, me too. And if I hover over the big B, I get on the left hand side. I get your characters. Shows it to me. Should work basically.
I
I'm confused.
like the icon is on the right, and if I
Mm-hmm.
or just
If
I
you hover
hover
over it, it
it-
should actually then show the characters.
it does not for me.
Okay, but you are not supposed to do this anyway. You have your own character.
Yes, but I wanted to see how it looks.
And let me
Have
quickly
good boy
double check if you
spot.
can see. Everybody can see the. Wait, there's someone missing. I need to adjust the Discord window. That is not correctly shown. Why is this like this? No, forget it. It's not.
Forget about it.
Okay, yeah, then, alright, now, let's actually start. Get over with this thing. And we had a very special session last Sunday, which was not streamed, so we are all eager to hear Christy's summary of that session. I hope you got all the little side quests from the other groups. If not,
Let's
feel free to
McFucking
ask me,
lose it.
because I know all of them because I wrote them.
The reason why I dragged Elasha with me, or more or less tagged behind Elasha, was so I just would have to take notes for one person. So I have no clue what the others did. Well, I do know
I
what
can fill
one
you.
of the group.
I fill you in then later. So you start
Alright.
and I continue then with the other two groups.
All right. So today, after Halaster brought us back from Forestland, we received a personal invitation from Jarlax to gather at the Purple Warp. We reached there, and there were far more people than we'd like, or we had expected. He explains to us that we will go on a mission to find the hidden treasure, which we've heard about a few sessions back. Apparently, Xanathor's member has stolen the Stone of Gloro.
Galore.
Galore. I just copied what was in the chat. And we found out that it's a half-orc named Grun that stole that thing. There were different people there that could give us information. We decided to approach Zestra. And a dragonborn named Daru and a halfling named Malphis just joined us at that table. We talked to Zestra. She told us that her little friends, while she pets a rat, have heard rumors about the tankard, a place where drinks are cheap and gambling is active. And apparently there has been a lot of humanoid movement around the sewer next to the tankard. We also found out that Grun has a rather large nose and mostly like human-looking skin, so
That's
less
a
of
very
a
interesting
green
detail.
tinge. It's important. Okay.
Okay.
Then we arrived at we decided to head to the tavern where we ordered some drinks, and Elisha asks about other orc, half orc beings around there. Where she got a nice compliment from the weird dude at the bar saying that no, at least not as pretty as she was. Um, then we approached the people that were gambling and playing. One of the card players complained about the sewers being open every time he passes by, so he has to close the gate. But he doesn't seem to have a lot more information on who is going in and out. We questioned more people, didn't really get a lot of information out of it, and then we decided to venture down to the sewers. We explored a little bit, we found some storage room, and from the distance we were able to see some aboleth. It didn't quite look like the one we fought. It had like weird colors on its skin, and an half orc that looks really similar to the description we got, dancing in the distance. And we decided to
Dancing in the moonlight.
approach it a little bit. We figured out that the aboleth seems to control the half orc. We decided to go back and investigated the storage room first, where we found some gemstones and yeah, just like old stuff, like old spices and such. They were all moldy, so no spices for Alyssa.
No, Old
Unfortunately.
Spice.
Yeah, but old mold spice.
Old mold spice.
Yeah.
Ew.
Smells like
We then
very
decided
sweaty
to
mold.
approach the aboleth again because it looked like the only thing around there. With Zoya and Elisha obviously being very, very happy to meet another aboleth just shortly after meeting the other one.
Yes, we prepared our party members really good for a potential fight.
Just don't
At
die,
first,
okay?
the thing is, like, at the first thing, we explored like with the owl to check what was there, and it was like, yeah, nope, not going in that direction. And then we saw the half orc we needed, so yeah, guess we are going in that direction. We approached Aboleth, and it seemed to notice us, and he invited us to to enjoy his show. As he made the half orc dance even more, we distracted the aboleth a bit more. Zoya joined in with her flute. Elisha started dancing really well. While Darwin Memphis drag Grun out of the room, we told the aboleth that we were preparing a wonderful surprise. Oh, we also cast Fairy Fire on him on the half orc because it was lacking spark, and the aboleth decided that yeah, it's lacking spark, so why not accept the light? So we had the glowing aboleth there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was
You
very
should have heard
yeah,
how
it
he
was
was
amazing.
played.
Yeah, it was really great. That's why I named him Drag Queen Aboleth, because that's a bit of the vibe he gave off. We kept distracting him a bit. And when they were far off enough, we told them that we will go and check if the surprise is ready. So we followed through the passage Daru and Melfi's left, and we managed to leave the sewers as Elisha. Then, as we left the sewers, Elisha cast protection from good and evil on Grun, to get rid of his condition, and after that he started running off, and we ran after him, meeting everyone else at the port. We charmed Grun into showing us where the stone is. He led us to the stone, we identified it, and it seems to be the right stone. So we went back to the Jarlax, who gave us information and direction to the vault door, which we reached. Something happened at the door, and something happened with the water, but it didn't quite open. So we ran back to the port, where Jarlax urged us to jump on boats. So we were there with the 3 boats, everyone on the boats, and the Alpiathan appeared, which is a big Leviathan. And we ended up somehow fighting that without anyone dying, which was surprising.
Well, someone went down but did not die.
Yeah. I think 2 of the 3 ships were destroyed.
Yes.
In the process. We had 2 players turn into giant sperm whales swimming around.
Being useless.
Yeah, exactly. For apparently no reason at all, but there you go.
Yeah, well, the second player was rather the one that was a bit unlucky because she couldn't transform back on her own, so she didn't really have means to communicate that she didn't want to be this sperm whale anymore, and she was just like swimming around.
Just for context, there was this one guy, and he had a plan in his mind, and then I think like 3 people on his ship, and 1 joined in, and the 1 just stayed on the ship. So he and the one who joined jumped in the water and became whales, and they just swam after the Leviathan. But the Leviathan he has like a lot of movement, so he was always further away than they could actually catch up. So they were just like swimming around and trying to reach him.
Plus, there's not much the sperm whale can actually do then compared to a player character. So yeah, it was a bit interesting.
True, but
Anyhow.
it was funny.
Yeah, Christy, you done? No, you're not done.
Well, I know that one of the groups had an encounter. Well, we had the one with the Aboleth had an encounter with a mind flayer that ended up similarly. Like they managed to get. Well, they didn't.
Yeah, so
As
let
far as
me
I know,
let me
walk
let me then
around,
fill you in there. So the end of the story was that everybody was fighting the Alpiathan and defeated it, and the Alpiathan's energy then refueled the Stone of Golor, which was then able to open the vault and revealed the promised 500,000 gold there. So gold was then split up, transported, and so on, and all the NPC quest givers then basically got their share, plus Jarlax, who took the biggest share, and left the remaining players with 35,000 gold each.
Oh, now I remember. We actually had a deal with Zestra that we would get 35% instead of 30.
Yeah, alright, okay. Shall I ask Ben about it?
Yeah, you can.
Oh no, Adrian in this case. Anyhow.
Yes.
So
Adrian actually, he agreed to that. So.
all right, then let me
already
quickly fill you on the little other side quests the other 2 groups had. So the group I was playing with then had the hint that Grun somehow was seen in Mindflayer Alley, and where he actually also was found. He was then teleported by the skulls into the dungeon of Skullport, where he encountered a Mindflayer zombie. The group then fought the Mindflayer zombie, and Grun used the opportunity to escape and ended up at the port. And the other group had the mission to investigate a Zentarim warehouse, where some Zentarim thugs and a warlock already had him circled in, trying to interrogate him.
Is it Boskin?
Yeah, that was fucking Boskin, exactly.
Why is he still a Zentrum? I sold him to fucking Jarlax.
So then the other group
It's
fought
unfair.
those thugs and that warlock as well. It defeated them, and Grun also used that opportunity to escape. And then basically what was happening is that those side quests were played simultaneously, but they were happening basically one after the other for in-game time. So Grun was basically just jumping from one group to the other group to the next group and ending up then at the port where everybody was circling him in. So that is what happened. So the other thing that happened is that now the factions got their share of the gold and will probably use it somehow over the course of the next weeks. That means the prominent or the chosen of Elistre, prominent of the Dark Maiden, got a lot of gold. Boskin, being unaligned but somehow having an issue with somebody else, also got a lot of money. And Ulvira from the Harpers also got a lot of money. Plus Jarlax. And whoever knows what Jarlax is up to, but Jarlax initiated the whole treasure hunt. And you also noticed that he was planning all of this all along, since he was the one sending you into the Xanatar's lair, using you guys as a distraction for Grun to steal the stone. So while you were basically fighting for your life, the Xanatar's Guild spy from Jarlax stole the stone and started all of those events.
Interesting.
This is how all of this happened. And
Actually, I wanted to be pissed at Jarlax for getting all those people for the treasure hunt because, like, come on, we did so much, don't you trust us? And then the Alpiathon appeared and was like, okay, I guess it's okay.
Yeah.
Because we definitely wouldn't have been able to get rid of the Alpiathon.
Yeah. Out of story, we were actually planning for a maximum of 15 players. Some people jumped off, so we were left with 11. That is why my group only had 3 players at the end of the day and not 4 or even 5. So yeah, there was that. And now you're all filthy rich. Well, then, not filthy rich, but rich. And you have satisfied your factions. That means Yagwu and Elasha, you both gain 1 renown. I don't know if you even keep track of that. For Yagwu, it's the first time basically.
Yes, what is it exactly?
Renown is basically like a leveling system for factions. And when you have enough of those, then you basically get a new title with new access to resources and such. I'll fill you in later on the details.
Okay.
Did we ever talk about that?
I gave you a rank when you joined them, so I'll fill you in as well.
Yeah, sure. All right.
So that is your way of basically climbing up the ranks within your faction, since you won't stay a henchman forever.
Quick question.
Yes.
How or where could or should we like note this or store this?
There is
Should we, like, put it in...
no specific place to do this.
Should we put it in the DNDB?
Yeah,
Notes.
put it in notes on Beyond.
Alright.
Yeah, exactly. That would be the best way to do it, because there is no specific region on that character sheet to put that in. Where was I? Ah, yes. And Zoya has Zoya has no faction, so there is no renown. But Zoya is only caring for money for the orphanage. So
How unexpected.
yeah.
I mean, we gave you half the share, okay? Like,
Which is nice.
yeah, but if you keep doing snarky remarks, maybe next time we don't give you half the share because it's a lot of money for the orphanage there that you got.
Well, I'm sorry that I don't care about children.
Well, with the money you donated to the orphanage or planning to donate to the orphanage, basically that thing could survive for the next century. So that would be probably enough. So maybe start.
I don't really have the means to bring the money there at the moment, so.
Correct. So, and now there's that. You are still in Skullport, but there is that all-seeing eye still hovering above you, eager to transport you back into Willowwood. So if there is anything that you want to do in Skullport right now, please tell me.
Where the fuck does Boskin live?
You don't know.
Do any of the other people know?
Well, last he was seen in the Worm's Gullet, being basically property of Jarlax, but that is probably not the case anymore.
I will go to the Keel Hall and gather a bunch of my sneakiest Zents that I have under my control and order them to fucking make out where he lives and make out where he goes all day, and then I'm planning a fucking heist in my downtime. I'm gonna be busy.
All right, all right. So how many henchmen do you recruit? How many people do you want to have investigate that?
5.
5.
Are you a mobster?
So those 5 people, in order to pay them, you need 10 gold per person and week. So that would
Yes.
make 50 gold for the first week.
Let's say 3. 3 people.
Well, you just got a shit ton of money.
All right, now it's
Well, I
30
do.
gold. 30 gold for the first week, for the
Yes.
3 persons, and then they accept your quest and start it.
Yes.
Good. So it will take
Good.
some time until they make out where Boskin is actually hiding, and then see. Let's see how it plays out. There's that.
30 gold ain't that much.
So
30
next one. Anyone
move.
else?
Oh no, I only have 18,000 gold. Oh no.
You're so poor. So, anyone else wanting to do something in Skullport in the meantime?
Buy a library, like a
Hmm.
small library to put in the party house, and I want to buy a comfortable bed.
All right. You get a comfortable bed made out of zerk wood. So those are those mushroom wood trees that grow in level 4. Absolutely no biggie at all. But it's costing you 150 gold.
Okay, and the books?
Just normal books is basically no issue. You get like the normal lore that is shared everywhere around. And the shelf and the books, including everything, is 50 gold.
50
Can-
gold. Gold.
About like beds and stuff. So I guess that was just like one bed for Zoya then, right?
That's
buy
how
your own bed.
exactly. That's
Yeah,
how
of
I
course.
got it.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna sleep in your bed. Don't worry.
Woohoo!
Because
For me, I'm sorry.
because Elisha would also like to have one queen size bed because she's a little bit taller and wider.
Okay, so that's also 150. It's basically the same bed.
Nice. And then I am still thinking about the alchemy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And what, like, are there any ways we could like improve it? Like, would there be like some better equipment that would like increase chances that we could buy, or
The gear that you
something like
got is
that.
actually pretty sophisticated. There's everything that you need, even for higher level potions. So there's nothing missing in terms of gear.
Okay.
You could always stock up on ingredients, but those are basically hard to get by. Some of them can be bought at Nightshades, and others need to be basically found by you guys. So you basically need to start searching.
Oh, the other idea I
Okay.
posted it in the voice chat where we could hire an alchemist or someone to
That's-
actually make potions for us, and then try to make a deal with Tasha to get a delivery, I don't know, once a week, once we start venturing deeper in the dungeon, so we can get her to teleport, like, I don't know, a chest with potions to wherever we are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I also thought about the alchemist thing, and maybe, I mean, probably like Nightshade would probably have her own alchemy stuff, like or alchemic tools and supplies, I guess.
Yes, that is correct.
So she probably wouldn't need to use ours, but yeah, like maybe if we are like gone, because it takes quite a while, right? To
Yeah, but
finish one of
Nightshade
those.
is a bit shady, so maybe we can have someone hired that we like kind of have a bit more control
Yeah, that's.
and doesn't use like living test subjects.
I spoke convoluted words, but that's basically what I wanted to say. So that when we venture down and we're like 1 week in there or down there, and that in this time there would maybe be some potion fruit for us.
All right. So hiring an alchemist that brews the potions for you is no issue. Costs you 10 golds a week.
That's not a problem.
All right.
Sounds good.
And there she is, already standing on your party house. So that is your alchemist now.
This one?
Yeah.
Yes, this one.
This.
This fancy-looking lady with the pinkish hair.
Oh, she's moving weirdly. You.
And what about like potions? Because you
I don't even see
for
her.
certain potions you need certain skills, or you need to know a certain spell or something.
Yeah. I
So
mean, if you want
How
to,
would we do that? general?
if you want to basically brew, like let's start with a healing potion, for example. You need to know the corresponding spell for the healing potion. That would be then cure wounds, for example. So magical potions need the presence of a magic user at some point. What the alchemist can do is basically prepare everything, and then when you come along, you just cast a spell and finish off the potion. So before you do that, it is basically just a mix of ingredients, herbs, and stuff. And then when you pass by in Skullport, visit your alchemist, you can basically finish off the potion and then do the last couple of steps to save some time. So everything then is prepared. Because the
Okay.
alchemist itself is just an alchemist that can, do basic things, mix stuff, prepare everything to your liking, and then you
Is-
pass by and do it.
I mean, we so far we have like common potions, uncommon, and I think 2 rare thingies. And for example, like potion of comprehension, then does this need like the comprehend language skill?
Yes.
Giant strength, because I don't know if that has any skill signed or like involved. Is there any skill that would
There
like,
is
give you
a
strength?
spell. There is a spell that does that.
Oh, is that where you get the bear constitution or the bull strength or something
Yeah,
like
exactly. Bull
that? Okay.
strength.
And for healing, because you have like potion of healing, greater healing.
Those
Does
are
that
basically
also
just
make-
those are just upcasts of cure wounds at the end of the day. So you start with cure
Okay.
wounds, and then
Alright.
you do upcasts of them. That is how you improve them. And then if you want to have a there is the so-called potion of healing, which then needs the healing spell, the specific spell healing, or heal. I think it's called heal, which does a couple of more things than just cure your wounds.
Okay, but that's a higher rarity, right? Because the common potion is called potion of healing.
Yes, the potion of healing
then
is basically just cure wounds, and then you
Okay.
have the other potion which uses the spell heal, that does regain 70 hit points, ends blindness, deafness, and any disease affecting the target. The spell has no effect on constructs or undead. That
Okay.
would be heal, but that is a 6th level spell, for example. Does it say any funny components? No, it actually does
Any
not have funny
answers?
components. So, on components, if the spell requires the components there, for example, if you want to do a spell that requires a specific expensive component, then you need that as well, in order to cast the spell, of course. But the basic stuff like the herbs and everything else is then prepared by your alchemist. So basic components is no issue. You already have quite a lot of them that came with the equipment itself. Since the slot that you got that stuff from has no use for it anymore.
Because he ran away.
Exactly, because he ran away. Fool, quick question: do you see the alchemist now on the party house?
I see something.
It's
Ew!
the pink haired.
Yeah,
I just
I
see her head and her tits.
What do you need more?
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
I don't see that it's a person. It just looks like a blob. That's
Yeah, you need to
moving.
zoom in quite a lot.
But I still don't see midgets or something.
She's
Yeah, I figured out why.
outside the
I figured
house.
out why,
Why?
because you need the script to be running, because they are on a separate layer that only is enabled when you have that script. So that is why all the others see it and you don't.
How do I
Um,
get the script?
yeah, we will figure that out later. It's not that important for now.
Okay.
Good.
Then, when we have the alchemist, then I would like to tell her to create a potion of healing, but the greater one.
Okay. Yeah. All right. She starts preparing them. Takes about a week to brew them and prepare the ingredients and all that stuff. And then at the end of that week, you need to pass by and cast a spell.
Okay, and do we then have like a cost for the normal ingredients? Because they would like be used up at one point, or do we just pay her and
You pay her, and then she takes care of the rest.
okay.
Let's not make this too complicated.
I would like her to
And how much did she cost?
10
10
per
a week.
exactly.
10
All
per
right.
week.
Then and it takes a week to do that, so I pay her 10 gold then
I
in
would.
advance, right?
Yes.
We do
Go
have
on.
the component for the fire breath potion.
Yeah, we have one in stash.
We have one in stash, but we also have the ingredients. I would pay her.
All right.
Well, I give her the no. Well, we pay her per week. So if
So
whatever I have to
who
give
does who does then who can actually do a fire breathing spell?
No.
You.
I do not, I think.
her. Oh,
Because you still need the corresponding spell to do a magic potion. Otherwise, it's just a fancy tea.
okay. I can't do fire breathing spells. Do you have to be able to do it right now, or?
Well, I mean, if you somehow foresee that you can do this when you come back, then you can basically just tell her to prepare the potion and then come back and cast a spell. But then still,
Sure,
if
I
you
can
don't,
actually-
the ingredients are
No.
wasted and they turn
Okay.
bad after time.
No, we'll figure out how to make that work then.
Mm-hmm. Good. All right. Give me quickly 10 seconds. I'll be back in a minute. All right. I just realized what I said. Give me 10 seconds. I'll be back in a minute. Funny. Good. So there's the potion brewing. Anything else?
Um, no, I still have the thing open with the drow guy, but we can do that off.
Good. So
They dropped the other sending stone, right? I don't remember. I think I did.
yeah, you did.
Okay. How much time passed since we awakened the little pot?
1 or 2 days, not more.
No, it was almost 30 days.
30 days. Since
Yeah,
when?
the plant, the one we awakened with
Ah, the
Orlin, that was
plant.
growing. Yeah.
I just understood the Leviathan. Yeah, the plant actually is showing out.
Okay.
So it is now an awakened plant, shrubbery. I forgot what the stats on those actually are and what it can do. What is that actually? Pot of Awakening. And the Pot of Awakening does
Is it?
turns into an
Oh, here
awakened
it is.
shrub, and an awakened shrub is actually able to talk. one language known by its creator, which is you in this case.
Okay.
So, dun, dun, dun. Can I
Let it
post
speak.
this? I want
Let
to
it
post
speak
this.
common.
Alright, you have now a common speaking awakened shrub. Small plant unaligned.
Okay.
And as long as the shrub remains motionless, it is indistinguishable from a normal shrub. It just displays the picture. That is great. Great job, Roll20.
Nice roll 20.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, you get an external link that you can click.
It looks like a weird
Oh,
world
yeah.
map.
So it leaves the pot now, but I can buy a bigger pot where it can sit, right? So I can bring
I
it
Sure.
around
really
with
don't
me.
like the alchemist. Oh my god. I hate the bird's eye perspective of the alchemist.
Buffs, you didn't go with the little bird flower thingy?
Bird flower thingy?
Yeah, the one I posted. What was it called? The cute little don't worry. it's
My
all
memory is shit. So.
good. all good.
Good. Great stuff. So let me then quickly check what is going on here.
Bee never. The bee never went.
So let's just show some midgets to Fu that she actually knows what is going on.
Ew! To see the midgets. It looks like babies. They're like
Yes.
bipedal. I hate them.
Bipedal
I want to
babies.
step
Bipedal
on every
babies.
single one and just kill them. They're grossing me out, but that's okay.
Hey, I
Good job,
invested quite some time in putting them there.
It's okay, Babs. It's just they're making me uncomfortable.
Just kick the midgets out of the way. You're a big person.
Why is that creep in front of our house? What is he doing there?
And what's the dude here standing guard? What? Like,
That is just a random dude. I mean, it's just it's a city. There
Just
are
passing
people.
by.
You're not alone in the city. Just
They're loitering outside our house.
yeah, scroll down to the port. It's getting even worse down there.
oh, the port looks cool though. I like the port. Port looks nice. I like it. Some of them have black squares around it. I don't know why, but that's okay.
Probably some glitch.
I really like the thing. This is great, Babs.
Yeah, started improving some stuff. Since I'm on vacation right now, I have time to do this.
Oh,
And-
vacation! I still have to work till Wednesday. I don't have to work on the 24th. Hell yeah! I'd have to work on the 23rd. Woo!
Awesome. Also, wandering around in Skullport, you noticed that a lot of people started to work on their houses and fixing damages there. So Skullport is changing and is getting back into shape, which you will then probably see in a couple of weeks. That means I changed the map at some point.
Can an aboleth control zombies?
No.
Oh.
I mean, Aboleth can do a lot of things. Maybe this one learned how to control zombies.
And make them dance.
That was my idea. We could like hire him as entertainment, but like give him zombies to use because we don't want him to use living creatures.
Yeah, if you name the Aboleth Michael Jackson and make him do Thriller all the time, I just freaking out.
No, it's a drag queen aboleth. Okay.
Same thing.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
thing.
No! I will fight you on that.
Why, Michael Jackson? And drag queen?
No. Yeah, but don't touch my drag queens. Drag queens are great.
Yes.
They are. Alright,
Yes.
guys. Then, anything else you want to do in Skullport, or is that it?
I'm
I
done.
think that's it.
Alright, good. Then, Alistair brings you... Oopsala. Where are we? No. Alistair brings you back to Willowwood, where he took you from a couple of days ago, and wants you to continue with your journey. Wrong window.
Journée.
Where is my Sirenscape? There is my Sirenscape. God damn it, so many things to do.
Oh,
Ooh, the water moves, but only only where we don't see it. Oh no,
oh, it's all
It's-
dark for me.
this kind of looks weird, to be honest, with the
You
water.
have to scroll out to find where we are.
Yes, same.
Oh, there it is.
Because now we
Oh.
see exactly where the water runs.
Yeah, that is a weird side effect that is not. I
don't
can't.
see the water running.
No, you don't see it because you don't have the script. That is actually necessary in order to see it. But yeah, still, I.
Also, when you move your camera, the water runs faster or backwards.
Wait.
Because when I move left to right, for example,
How?
The water's like, nope.
yes, and then it runs just backwards.
Huh? What? How do I reproduce this?
Um, I basically just use the right click and then drag it a little bit to the left, so my camera moves to the right, and then the water runs back upstream.
Wait. Oh yeah, actually, as long as you hold and don't release, it does funny things. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, actually that's okay. It does not do this for me when I move my camera in the GM layer. So all right, okay, interesting. But yes, how do you like the
The water's
trees?
not moving for me. But the trees moving, yes.
Good.
No, I had to reload the whole page so I don't see shit. at the moment.
All right,
They
the
look
trees
cool.
do just for you guys that have the script enabled. That does not apply to Foo. The trees do have a little thing. You can actually hide below them. As you can see now, I just moved Yagu under the tree.
But now I don't see anything. Like if I click away from my token, I would not know where my token is,
Yeah, exactly. You're hidden. You're hidden under the tree then.
even from myself.
That is supposed to give you some sense of
Aha.
depth.
I see. Okay.
And I also had to deactivate the grid here because Roll20 was shitting itself.
Do I have like more HP now?
I don't know.
I think I gave you temporary hit points.
Ah, yeah.
Time we were
Please
down here.
adjust.
Oh,
Please
no.
adjust your tokens to everything.
Reality.
No, that's
Yes.
something different because we. Many hit points.
Yeah, I remember you did a thing with temporary hit points.
Yes.
That is correct. Good. So now, obeying the will of Hallister, you are back in Willowwood.
Oh,
And
I mean, I'm assuming he appeared, right? To bring us back.
yeah, well, he made a short appearance. Is there anything you want to tell him?
To ask him if we should take out the sword from the dragon's head.
He just
Hello.
shrugs and does not speak to you.
Okay. I'm torn whether to take out the sword or not.
Well, that is
Yeah,
up
me
to
too.
you then, as it seems.
Mm,
The map now is again like all fog of war.
Yeah. That is also something that I had. I mean, wait a second. We can
Yeah,
make
I just wanna
we can make a
like-
try and see how you guys how your performance is doing. If it's not working, then we deactivate it again. So tell me how it's doing then. If it's all right, we can leave it.
it's shaky. Like sometimes, probably if people move and it has to recalculate, then it takes a while.
I guess it's okay.
Yeah, you don't see half of the shit the others see, so
Oh, not my fault.
Yeah, I mean we
Alright,
can
then if
deactivate
it's-
it. I mean that the fog of war like is hiding everything didn't change, so we still have to like explore it again. That was like the only thing.
yeah, I leave it on for now, and
yes,
then
it
just
lags.
it
now
lags quite a lot, right?
Yeah,
So let's
but only like
let's-
from time to time.
Yeah, I mean on that big map, it is not much of a use anyway. So let's
Sure.
turn it off and just play correctly. Good. There we are. Do you need a an update on what was actually going on, or do you still remember? Do you actually know
I
what?
guess I remember.
Okay, because it's like 2 weeks ago. So, where do you want to go? What do you want to do?
I want to find the werebat goblins.
My roll 20 is flipping out. Second.
All
I
right,
think
yeah, the
last
werebat goblins.
last
Yes,
time, sorry,
go
I
on,
think
go on, go on.
last time I think we were like somewhere down here, and we talked to those weird manta ray
Correct.
thingies.
Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
Manta ray thingies?
yeah.
Yeah, that were
Behind the
Oh,
wall.
Or
I
in
thought
the
that was I thought that was the goblins.
No, those were
Oh.
cloakers.
Oh. Oh yeah, the cloakers.
Hmm.
and we weren't able to get in there, and they said there was like another entrance, like also on the other side. So I think we had like a couple of options that we discussed. One was like trying to find the other entrance, but we also don't know if we trust them. They said that they were here even before that druid came in. Um, then the other thing was searching out the were-bat goblins. And the third thing was dragon and his sword in the skull.
Yep.
I think those were the three things we were discussing, if I remember correctly.
You do.
Sounds about right. Well, the easiest would be the dragon and the sword. Like the closest to us, but I don't know about it.
Did we see where the dragon went? Because I think he went just like up and then we lost sight.
Yeah, correctly. But the
So,
last
but
thing
we
that you
could
remember
probably
is he went south. But also there are not many more directions other than south. So
I guess we go south and ask the weird druid person where these bat people actually are. Or did she say she doesn't know? I'm confused.
She either didn't know or didn't want to tell us.
Hmm.
Probably the first, because I think we asked.
I just think she said something about a cave or something that they were like hiding in, so they're not like in broad daylight under a tree or something like that. And I think that's why we were then going around the place to look for
Yeah.
what there is.
all right. Christy, you there?
Yes, I'm there.
ah.
I was just not quite sure. I don't know what we should do at the moment. Should we try to? Do we have a feeling that the thing that is like locked up will be friendly toward us if we free them?
The cloakers?
I think they said that if they were freed, I think we asked them what they would do if they were freed, and they didn't seem to be hostile or anything. And I think they want to get rid of the druid as well, so they probably would help us if we
The
want to fight the
dragon. Do we
druid.
know if the sword is part is doing of the druid as well, or if it was already there?
I think we asked the druid about the sword, right?
Yeah, I remember we mentioned something, but I don't remember what she said.
I remember asking the wisp, the will-o-wisp, who said that it's pleasant company because of the sword dragon. But I don't remember if the druid said something.
Right, right. So he could turn into unpleasant company.
I assume as much. Hmm.
So we tried to open the door though, so we don't really have the means to open the door at the moment. What if we ask the dragon? He seems to be
Hey.
friendly at the moment. If he opens the door for us.
Well, they
He-
said there's another entrance on the other side,
Here.
but we don't know exactly where the other side is. But that was at the end of the session, and we got teleported back. So we could go there again and look for another entrance.
That would work.
Or we can roll a d3.
For goblins, dragon, or entrance?
Yeah.
The fuck is a D3?
Okay, but we
It's
don't
a
know where to begin.
three-sided die.
We don't know where to begin with the goblins, so I don't think that's an option. Because it's easier to do one of the other two things, and if we find the goblins, then yeah, that's that. But we can't just run around looking for goblins. I don't think that's as easy. Right?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So I think
So-
the one thing that we actually know what to do would be finding the other entrance. Maybe while we do that, we stumble across the goblins. And also with the dragon, we would have to just like, yeah, start from scratch and just search every corner of the map until we find the dragon. Or we take a long rest and I prepare locate creature. And then we
Could
know
do it.
where to go.
Hmm.
So many options.
I mean, we could
Yes.
try and find the.
So-
I mean, we could try and find the entrance, because assuming that like Halaster usually like takes us away in the evening or brings us back to places in the morning, I'm assuming we had a rest. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but
Yeah, well, you had a rest. That is true. But
Alright.
not. I mean, you are in the morning right now. So, I mean, you could just for the sake of the game, you could basically take a long rest right now and then go on with it if you want to do that.
yeah. Or we could try and find the second entrance, and if we don't stumble upon the goblins on the way there, we can take a long rest in the evening and then find the goblins.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. We can go look for the second entrance, I think. That's the best. It's the least dangerous, it seems, at least, because I don't know about pulling the sword out of the dragon.
Yeah,
Sounds
maybe if
so
we can
weird.
find out more about the sword or the dragon,
Yeah.
it would be cool.
But does anyone remember what the dragon said to us when we talked to it?
I don't know.
Because I don't remember it sounding super friendly. Ah, something about. I don't remember.
Maybe ask
Well-
our
I
chronologist.
I was looking for it. We heard a voice saying like, remove the sword for its evil can't be contained much longer. But we're not sure if it means the evil of the sword or the evil of the dragon.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're not sure if the dragon would like us to remove
And we're not
the
sure
sword.
if it's even true. So lots of questions.
I mean, the chances would be there that he would like us because we helped him. But if he's pure evil, then he wouldn't really care.
Let's find the other entrance for now, and then we'll figure it out as we go, I guess.
Sounds like a plan.
Great. All right, you wander through the forest there. See a couple of animals like boars and elks minding their own business. Also some rabbits. Scenery seems to be quite peaceful. And
Very
Elisha,
far away.
you're standing in front of a big
I
structure.
can't move through walls anymore.
No, I disabled that since it's otherwise very dangerous. Spoiler ahead and such.
Very
Sorry, what
spoilerish.
structure? You mean?
This one there.
Oh yeah.
And it looks to
And-
be like it was once a gatehouse of some sort.
Gatehouse. mean-
Means there is an actual gate in it.
Okay.
it
Do we
be open?
see anything, or like, are they like slits or windows or something?
Yeah, you can look partially through the gate and see that there is some kind of a tunnel system behind it. That
Is it locked?
The gate is down, so there is actually no lock at the gate itself. It's just like a portcullis. You can look through it, and yeah, there's no lock that you could pick. But
Climb
you
it and get
might
to the other side.
either yeah, one way would be climbing it, the other way would be maybe lifting it.
Well, I don't really have strong.
I have
So-
strong.
Elisha has
Strong.
So,
strengths.
so the strong. So I'm gonna.
Yeah, try lifting it.
Yeah, you can do that
Okay.
with a strength athletics check.
help Lasha, right?
You
If I
can
see
help.
that Lasha is trying to help to lift it, I will help.
A lot of guidance being cast.
I have no idea why it went double, but yes, I want to guide myself. And what was it? Athletics, you said,
Yes,
right?
yes. With advantage in this case because you get help.
You get the help.
That's
Why does it roll twice?
I don't know.
Everything.
Maybe
Well, it's a 14 then.
yeah.
Plus 1 from the guy.
Well, you notice that you can lift it for a couple of inches, but then it gets just too heavy for you and it crashes down.
Fingers snapped off.
This roll is just a test. Ignore it. Again.
Okay,
Nice.
interesting. Maybe there's some kind of setting in the Beyond add-on that you need to adjust. There were like quite a lot of updates in the last couple of weeks. So
Yeah, but I
maybe
have
it's that.
I have it set that every time it rolls, it asks if it is with advantage or disadvantage.
Okay.
And like the first roll I made for athletics was with advantage,
Mm,
and it rolled with advantage but twice.
okay.
And now it was just a normal roll, and it still rolled twice. So I'm
Interesting.
just gonna, close my D&D Beyond.
Good. Anyhow, you do that, and in the meanwhile, you failed to lift the gate.
You failed to lift the gate.
That's
Others, what do you want to do?
We'll try and climb the gate.
All right. That is then.
There's
Zoya.
no roof over this, right?
There is some kind of a roof, so there
Yes.
is something that you could climb up to.
Well,
And Zoya, you do me a athletics or acrobatics check, whichever is best.
Come on.
Here come the good rolls.
All right, you climb up there, and being halfway up there, you notice that your hands start slipping. Do me another one. And you fall down to the ground. But you manage to land on your feet as the cat burglar that you are, so you take no damage.
Right. That was slippery.
I could try to levitate over it, but I don't know.
Oh, did we have the items identified?
I don't think so.
Which items?
Oh right, the boots.
The boots?
Yes, we
Damn
got the presumably spider climb boot.
Yeah,
Wait, someone has identified, right? I
So
think
yeah,
also
you
Alyssa
let's
has.
I do.
let's just say okay, you used your downtime to identify the boots, so you know that those are boots of spider climb.
All right.
So,
So I will wear the boots and climb up there, and then drop the boots. So someone else can climb.
Do they need attunement?
Yeah, exactly.
Did they?
Huh.
I don't know. Let me check.
Why does it say book? No, I want boots. Not
Yeah, it
book.
requires attunement.
Okay.
More lucky.
Oh wait, it's slippers. It's not boots.
Ah, slippers. That's why I can't find it.
Slip-on.
Yeah, they require attunement. Okay, but then I will attune to the boots and then climb up the thingy.
Attunement takes an hour. Just to have you know.
Well, I mean, if we identified them, then we probably decided on who's probably gonna take them and wear them, I guess.
Yeah, it's always Zoya.
That's not true! I had the back. I had
anyway,
the hat of this guy.
you
And I
either
felt
you either
like, oh,
have
we-
been attuned or you attune to the boots, and
Then I will. Is there any place where I can fix a rope?
well, first of all, you climb to the other side, and you notice that there is some kind of a mechanism on the other side with a lever.
Pull the leather with mage hand.
All right, you
Pull the lever, Croc.
You pull the lever with Mage Hand, and you notice how the mechanism starts to work out and lifts the gate.
I make a little bow as like.
Let's remove this weird lighting thingy here so that you can move through, and there you go.
Thank you.
Ah. So, do we recognize something special in here?
Well, you did an awful lot of dungeon dwelling, so this is definitely a tunnel in a cave. So,
Man-made.
no, that seems to be very natural. I mean, it has been carved out of the stone at some point, but very rough, no made-up walls or something like that. So it's really not more than a tunnel, just being carved into the stone.
Do we see like any animal or creature um, imprints or scratches or like something that indicates what could have moved through here?
Do me a survival check.
It rolls everything.
Yes,
I am very
don't worry.
sorry.
Don't worry. We can deal
Everyone
with that.
gotta make a survival check? Or-
No, just Elisha, because Elisha
Oh.
wants
Fine.
to find out stuff.
A9.
A9. So you see that smaller animals like rats and other bug-like creatures made their home here, but you can't really make out if that is carved out by a bigger creature or something else. But the only thing that you see is that the walls definitely have been worked on with tools.
It's
All right. Well then, shall we explore?
Let us explore. Oh, it's a bit wonky right now.
Yeah, because you have to move within the boundaries of the walls. That is why it's a
Yeah.
bit wonky.
There seem to be
Wonky.
3 passages. I will send Owl up
All
here.
right.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that solves it. Is there
Good thing you
anything?
sent Owl.
And is there anything in there?
No, just some piles, rubble, and
Then I will send Owl up there.
same picture. The only thing that you notice is that both caves have feces in there of unknown kind.
Does it seem
Mm.
old feces, or does it seem like
Both.
okay? I will have a look at the ceiling in both. I will have a look at the
Oh,
ceiling in
glücklicher
both rooms.
Freilandgrühe.
I will have a look at the ceiling in both rooms, assuming it's not cows.
No, there are no cows at
it's-
the
it's-
ceiling.
It's
And
cows that are actually werebats.
Yeah.
the
cows
ceiling
hanging
otherwise
around
looks
from
the
the
ceiling
ceiling.
otherwise looks fine. The only thing that you notice is that there are no stalactites or something like that on the ceiling itself. So,
So no poop piles.
no poop
What-
piles.
What
Aw.
kind of structure is this? Like a wall?
That is
or-
another gate that looks mostly like the one that you just passed.
Okay. So we can see through, or is it like a complete,
You can actually see through. Let me see if I can actually modify this real quick in order to give you a glimpse of it. Does this work? No, it does not.
Okay, well, let's
Would need to redraw it.
check
But
out. Let's check
Weed
that
war.
side.
Sad.
all right, but you
See anything there?
no, you can't. Unfortunately, you can't see anything there. But you hear a distant moaning from the other side of that gate.
Does it sound like a familiar moaning?
Yeah, like the one that you discovered at the other side of that cave.
It's here.
Your sense
Or-
of sounds like that. Your sense of direction tells you that you are at the other side where you spoke with those manta ray thingies.
Can I see through the gate?
Yes, you can. You see a dark cave, and you sometimes hear a flap from leathery wings in the distance. And you make out a shape that resembles one of those manta ray things.
Imagine if they were wet, then would just sound like slap, 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 slap.
Okay.
Why?
Why the fuck not?
All right, Elisha, as you step closer to it, you notice that something seems to be odd with the northern part of that structure there.
The northern part.
in what regard?
It doesn't really fit in. You'd say it's it tries very hard to look the same, but it actually does not. At least not to your eye.
Right. Then can I like investigate? Look a little bit closer if it
You can. Do me an investigation.
maybe an illusion or something.
Yeah, do me an investigation check.
I will
please.
not use guidance again. I take one of the above that was already been caught. Investigation, you said.
Yes.
Uh,
All right. Let's take the first one there. It's a 15. And you notice that the parts of the wall in front of you there are actually illusions.
I see. Do I like just in general, are illusions usually magical nature?
Yes.
Yes, right?
Yes, as long as you don't look at those fancy papers that move weirdly when you move them up and down. It's
Nice.
not an optical illusion. It's actually a magic illusion.
Okay, because in that case, I would like to. Where is it? Dispel magic, but only once, of course.
All right,
On that,
you use the spell magic, and the illusion disappears, giving way to the rest of the cave. Do I have this? Yeah, let's remove this entire section there. Makes it easier. So now you should.
Okay, so this
able to
wall
see.
here is still,
Yeah, those
this gate and wall
exactly.
is still
This
intact.
that wall up here has now an opening where you can pass through.
Okay. And so we already see that thingy, right?
Yes, that hovers there and screams and moans.
It scream and it moan. Yummy, yummy. Oh god, what the fuck is that? Oh, that's the flapper people. The flap, slap, slap.
The
Yes.
Dry
flapper
flappers,
people,
yeah.
Dry flappers. Nice.
It's dry sea pancakes.
All right. So do you go through the wall, or you just lurk there?
You could ask them if they're hostile. Hello,
Hey, are you gonna kill
hostile?
us if we pass? They're totally gonna tell you.
Well, they seemed like they wanted our help.
Yeah, one of you wanna talk to them?
Guess.
Yeah, no.
You are an undecisive bunch today.
They speak Undercommon, right? I don't understand Undercommon.
Well, the last time you spoke to them, yes, they spoke Undercommon.
I can
So it's gotta be
translate.
you a lot. Yeah, you can talk to them themselves if you want to.
I can say hello
Go
to them.
for it,
That's
big
about
girl.
it.
That's the thing. I don't wanna. All right. I guess I just slowly move up, and yeah, just I have my shield still in my hand, but I just like show that, or like on my arm, but I just show that I have no weapons and am not hostile towards them while I walk in.
All right. One of them notices you and flaps closer. You must be the one.
Approach here.
Are you did we talk to you on on that hatch on the other side?
Maybe? Not many passing through?
I don't like their little arms.
It looks like they're flexing their muscles.
Look
Yeah,
at them
but like
abs.
the arms next to their face, I don't like them.
Look at those abs.
That's no abs.
So, you came here to talk?
I mean, if you offer tea, that'd be great. Like, oh god.
Yes, we would like to know a little bit more about your situation here.
We
Real quick, out of character,
Yes.
I just asked if we talked to them on the other side at the hatch.
Yeah.
And I didn't really understand the reply.
Said not many passing through, so maybe.
Okay.
Since you were not able to see each other, so but They're probably not having that many visitors that come to talk to them, so probably.
All right. Well, you said that you're imprisoned here, and out of character again. Sorry, that illusion that I just dispelled here.
Mm-hmm.
The opening is probably not big enough for them to go through, or
I mean, they could squeeze through probably. We are not trapped. We are refugees, driven out of our land. Need to hide here?
I nudge Elasha and say, "Hey, can you ask them about the wergoblins?"
Sure. Um. Well, yeah. We just, as we said, we just arrived here, and we met the druid, and you seem to have been um pushed out of your habitat by her. That's correct, right?
Yes, the druid. The elf has sold her body and soul to the dragon. She's but a puppet of its will and wrath. But
What
she
do
is
you
quite powerful.
what do you mean by sold her soul to the dragon? Is the dragon the actual mastermind or the threat here?
Of course, no elf could surpass the intelligence of a dragon. No offense. Looks at Zoya.
Full offense.
Well, she didn't understand
I-
anyway.
Do I understand any of what it says?
No, it's under. I mean, you get a couple of words actually, but not enough to make sense out of the whole sentence.
Did it say?
Um, well, it said that the dragon is or the druid sold her soul to the dragon. So right now, I think it implies that the dragon is actually the prime evil here and not the druid herself. Um, so do you know anything about the dragon that you could tell us? Because I think we saw the dragon, but it had a sword stuck in its, what was it, in its head?
Well, we don't approach the dragon. We don't know about any swords. But he's definitely in charge.
So what you're saying is if we would get rid of the dragon, would that also or like would that free the druid and
Maybe
make
she
her sane again?
maybe
if we can
she
say it
come
like
to her senses and comes back to her oath of preserving all living beings. Like we are. We belong here as much as anyone.
So when the druid came here, did she she wasn't like evil in the beginning?
Well,
Evil.
she had friends keeping her in line. And the dragon did not have control over her. Took time. But
I
then
see.
she started attacking for no reason and drove us here into caves.
Hmm.
We are few. We used to be more. Not even our dead are honored. She's cursed with madness. Must be put down for the good of these woods.
I see. Um, do you by any chance know where the dragon has its lair?
No. All Willowwood is his lair. He controls this plane.
So, if he doesn't want to be found, then he's not gonna show himself? Or is there any way we could
I mean, we've already
lure him
seen
out?
him.
Dragon hard to miss, eh? Always roaming the place, checking if intruders are present, sending Willow to talk to them.
All right.
Will
Well,
you translate
then,
for us?
yes, I think I would translate.
Ask them
all
if they
to-
know which one is the real Willow. Because we met the wisp that said it was Willow, and she said her friend
The
Willow
wisp
was.
No.
was.
It's just a will-o-wisp.
Oh
That's
no,
just
wait.
what-
Oh
that's
yeah,
just
no,
what they're
but she
called.
said.
Well, the druid
Oh,
is
no.
named. Just let me clarify. The druid is named Willow with an epsilon
Alright,
with
Willow.
with a Y, yeah, and a will-o-wisp is with
Yeah,
an
I-
I in the middle.
Yeah,
so
I,
it's
I,
just-
I could.
one is just
No,
the name of
no.
a monster, and the other one is an actual name.
Not Willow. I confused the names. The name of her companion. What was it? Kristen.
Yeah,
I think.
Kristen, yes.
Ask them if they know which one is the real Kristen. If it's the wisp or if it's
the cat.
the cat.
Tentacut.
Yeah, do you know anything about Willow's friend Kristen? Because we
Was-
have encountered a will-o-wisp that claimed to be Kristen who has been slain by
Druid.
by Willow, or-
Druid had companions. 2 of them. But we don't know which one is which. You people all look the same to us. Except you. You have green skin.
I thought orcs were more brownish.
Well, this one is more greenish.
yes.
Yeah, Shrek!
That's an ogre. An ogre have layers.
But their friends
Ogres
were
are onions.
but their friends were humanoid in nature, not beast, right?
Eh, the elf always wanders with a beast companion as well. That is none of our business.
Yes, but you said her friends. You
Yes,
didn't
she
know
also
which
had
was-
people that looked like you.
Okay.
As in green or as in humanoid?
As in people with 2 legs. Just a quick second. We'll be right back.
Blah blah blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah 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 blah.
I used that to reload my roll 20.
Rör 20.
Röru.
Roru Tvantoru. I'll do that for a bio break. If Babs is here earlier, tell him I am not here.
Mhm.
Nope. Still rolling double.
I'm back. Someone was at the door. Sorry.
Don't worry.
Okay, Elisha's been fighting herself in the meantime.
Yes,
Yeah.
always.
Alright, I don't want to know details.
I'm dead.
Alright, so
Yeah, I
where were
reloaded
we?
Roll20 and changed some settings. It still rolls twice every time.
Okay. Yeah, probably need to figure that out later. So, where were we? Ah, yeah, you're still
Uh,
talking.
Yes.
To the dry flappers.
Flappers.
Lorpers.
All right, then. Did you or like do you know what happened to the companions?
No. We had to hide here. We do not know what happens.
Bananians.
If you say you have to hide here, what would have been your normal habitat, your normal place where you would stay or roam?
Outside in the forest, hunting animals. But every time we hunt, Willow drives us back into the cave.
Well, that makes it definitely hard to survive if you can't really hunt
Yeah,
and get enough food.
sometimes we
Yes.
find adventurers that are already dead. We can munch on them. But no new adventurers for a long time. You the first one to arrive in months.
Well, I'm glad you didn't decide to munch on us then.
We need help, long-term solution.
Well, maybe we can help you with that.
Yes,
Um,
would be good. Kill the witch.
yeah, we will have to find out a little bit more because if we can like break the influence of the dragon over druid, and if the druid would then return to her normal or former self and would then be or see it as her mission to protect the woods instead of what she does now, then that would probably also help you, right?
Maybe. You decide. Kill the puppet or kill the master.
We are also looking for some goblins that seem to have nested in this plane.
Ah, yes,
Would
yes.
would you know how or where to find them?
Sometimes they fly, sometimes they walk. Difficult to track them down, but they are in the center of the wood, in old ruins.
Is there anything in particular that we could look out for to easily find them?
Old ruins, they live there. Hide in caves during the day.
I see, I see. All right. Well, then, just one more question. If there would be a fight with, for example, the dragon or the druid, or both, could we count on your support, maybe?
We are few. Need to protect our kind. Fighting is dangerous.
I see. I understand that. Would there be anything you could do to maybe like distract them? So I think that if we would engage the dragon or Willow, that she would have a lot of friends, a lot of critters and
Why,
other
yes.
creatures from the woods to help her.
We can feed on the animals. That may help. All animals here bow to Willow's command.
Well, that's something that we will keep in mind then, I guess. I look back to the others and ask them if they have any questions that I should ask, because if not, then I
Not
guess we
really,
could
no.
look for the goblins. All right, then I turn back to Lappy and
What are two flappers doing in the meantime? Just like chilling, ignoring us.
The others are circling around there and observe and listen.
Ask them how many of them are still here. Is it just the three of them?
There are others, but we don't know where. Maybe they're dead, maybe alive.
Well, I heard that they terrorize the or like the druid wants us to kill them, so I'm pretty sure that they are still there.
I meant if there's more, how many flappers there are, not the
Oh.
not the word goblin. But that's
Goblin.
actually a good question too. If they know
Goblin
how many
also
goblins there.
many goblin. They are
Alright.
a lot, countless. And they reproduce fast.
Funny goblins.
So you go
Alright.
now and help.
yes, we will. I think we will just try to contact the goblins and see if they have information or could help us, so we can get rid of bad influence. Well, thank you for your time and your information, and I hope we can help you to get out of this situation and be able to live free again.
Good, good. Come back when you dealt with problem.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Do they usually eat like meat or?
Well-
Because they say they hunt, right?
Yeah. Can do me a nature check if you want to. Maybe you remember something about cloakers.
I can ask Alasha to ask them, so I have a reply faster without.
Well, I just said bye.
Well, Alasha left, so.
Yeah. Well, they're definitely carnivores, so.
I open a bag of rations with dry meat and just say food. I don't think I can really do more than that, and then I leave too.
I just leave. Because I don't like the dry pancakes.
All right. So you leave there, and you leave a bit of dry meat there outside. So far, they don't seem to be interested, but who knows? Maybe they pick it up at some point. All right. Outside you go. Whoosh.
I go outside. Outside the cave, cause the cave is weird. Doo doo baba boop boop bop. What am I doing?
From
We
the
have no
outside,
idea.
can we see, or when if you know where the lever is, can you activate it from outside?
Can we see the
I mean-
love tonight?
The lever, not the love.
The
I mean, for
lever.
mage hand, you need
visual
line of
thing,
sight. So, but maybe you could, I don't know, do something else to it. But from the other
Let's
side
try.
of the gate, the lever is not visible.
I wait till everyone gets out, and then I will push the lever because we pulled it earlier. Check if it closes.
It does.
Okay, and then I will climb over it again and go to the other side.
All right.
I know they still make me kind of uncomfortable too, so I don't know if they are the one who activate the lever or not, if they know how it works, but just gotta be sure. They're not helping us anyway if we get into a fight.
All right. So you are at the other side now again with the gate closed behind you. Sun moved a bit in the meantime. You're approaching midday.
Yeah. Let's have some fancy lunch. Goodbye.
No lunch for you.
But I want lunch. I want lunch.
Lunch.
Lunch. Anchovies. I found my... Oh, mijn horen, kom niet aan. Ik zo echt scheiß. Het gaat me scheiß hoeskommelen. Sorry, maar dat heeft me echt geen volk vreugd.
Congrats, I guess.
Thank you.
My sound driver just crashed, and the first thing I heard as soon as it reconnected was that.
Yeah, I found an eraser that I was looking for because it's the only good eraser that I have.
Acers.
Good.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you found your eraser then in this case. That is
Yeah.
nice. So where do you want to go? What do you want to do?
To the goblins.
Huh?
Let's find the goblins.
All
Yes.
right.
So that's what happened.
Where to go?
To the woods. Into the woods to find the goblins.
Lead the way. Because I have
Oh.
no idea.
They said they said deeper in the woods by some ruins. So I don't know. I'm assuming deeper in the woods will be somewhere here, or down there.
Wait, somewhere where I didn't see the ping.
Down south in the woods with the bodies.
Oh, the bloody body woods.
Correct.
Mm.
Actually,
Yeah.
guys, since you are right now a bit again in floating in mid-air, don't know where to go. How about we do a 15 minutes break right now until 4 o'clock,
That's good.
and then we'll be
That'd be
back
cool.
later, and you can make up your mind on where to go, since there are not many places to go. But who knows? So then, see you in a bit at 4 o'clock. We'll be right back. this, and now we should have the sound back in the stream, and we're back online. I hope so. What does it say? Yes, it does. The stream, and we're back online. I hope so.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
What does it say? So, there you are. The only thing that you can make out from where you're standing right now is that there seems to be a fortification wall right south of you with breaches in it.
That's where it goes to Willow's
Yeah.
layer, right?
Well, there is Willow's Tower, exactly, but south of that wall, the wood seems to continue. So maybe go there.
Oh, wait. Can I climb up this wall and see if I can see old ruins somewhere?
You want to see who?
I want to check if I can see any ruins from from up here.
Cunningham.
Which one do you want to climb? Ping it again. I was watching at different parts of the map.
Well, the one
This
I'm
one
standing.
there. Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
Well then,
I don't
let's.
have to move me up there. It's
Yeah. Wait. Let me quickly check where would the best place be for you to move. I think if I move you, oh, that is the owl. You and your owl. If I move you there, you should actually be able to see quite a lot.
all right. I will send
And
the owl
down
away.
to the south, you see that there are more fortifications and also some buildings.
Question: can the owl carry Bean?
Why would you want to have your awakened shrubbery with you right now?
I already had it with me. He's always with me.
The owl can carry what, 10 pounds?
I don't remember. Let me check.
I think it was like 10 pounds, right?
I don't see it.
That is probably the actual weight of the owl itself. So it could let's just say it's 10 pounds, and the awakened shrub is small enough. So yeah, could actually carry it. But
Okay,
then the question remains, why?
that's not important. I don't need it now. It was just a general question because I have ideas.
Okay. I don't know if I want to know it in detail, but then go on. Yes, you see
Actually, see.
you see more wood, and to the south you see natural stone, and to the southeast you see more structures made of stone, houses even. You also notice that some of the trees seem to move.
The ends, yeah.
I mean, as long as we don't hurt anyone or anything, it should be fine. So I guess we.
You guess you?
I guess we could venture further in. Do we know if the creatures are hostile toward us? Do we? We didn't really ask her,
I
right?
can't get through. There.
So far, there was no creature hostile to you, and also, well,
No,
yeah,
well, that's a tree, and the other one is an elk. So I don't think they really have a reason to be hostile or too hostile.
that
It's
is
more
correct.
like if we have like a wolf or something, if it would attack us. But we don't know that. We could sneak down there, I guess.
Yeah, you could.
Just carefully.
It works. That was just
Wait.
What? Yeah, let's sneak.
I will cast Pass Without Trace on everyone, including Bean and the owl and the imp.
The bean
Yay.
is not moving outside of its pot.
Also, the sturge died. Just for
Bean is not in
clarification.
the pot. Like, well, I got an I would have gotten a new pot because it breaks the pot it grows in.
Uh-huh. Wait, the sturge died? Kevin
Yes,
is dead?
it died. Yes, Kevin's dead.
Why is
I
Kevin?
forgot about it. I forgot about it. It died of starvation.
Oh, all right. Remind me to never give you responsibility for a pet.
I have 5, and they're all fine.
You probably
Not
had
given.
10.
No,
Yeah,
I had
exactly.
6. One of them died of old age until we put it down.
That's what you call it now, old age.
Yes.
She was almost 20.
20
Oh,
But yeah, I know
grams.
right.
what you mean.
So okay, then let's not talk about Kevin. Maybe give
Poor
him a
Kevin.
gravestone. Poor Kevin. Rip.
Re-up.
All right, but
I have a 16.
You have a 16. Yay! All of you have. I mean, you can't have a lower than an 11 at the end of the day. So
Yeah. Nice, Christy.
Still have a 24, okay?
Just saying.
it's still
Do
so
I have to roll?
hilarious.
Do I have to roll stealth for Bean and the owl as well, right?
No, yeah, for the owl, yes, but Bean, I don't know.
Bean is just sitting at the moment, like it's just sitting in the new pot, looking like a plant.
New pod.
All right, then owl and Yagu. Yagu is still missing. No stealth from
Yeah.
Yagu.
Dog wow.
It's roll 20 is not
Not the
It
most
is not
responsive today,
working.
yeah. Ah, there you go. Finally a good roll.
oh
All right, then you're all as stealthy as you can, and it seems to work since you're not breaking any branches below your feet or making any other unnecessary noises. So you may continue. As you move down south, you notice that the woods are getting a bit more dense.
Can we
He's
see this
fucking
one from here
dense.
through the woods?
You see the trees walking up and forth a bit, and you also hear the sounds of animals in the distance, like elks or boars.
Where was Willow's tower?
Willow's Tower is here to the west.
It's all the way down.
Where Half Cross is.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't down here somewhere.
No, you actually
Okay,
surpassed that now. And yeah, just in front of you there is an opening in the forest resembling a trail. Just down here, that is those brown stuff here. You also start to notice that there are far more skeletons and broken gear laying around here in the forest. Stuff that adventurers left behind.
See any items, like any weapons or such
Yeah.
that seem like
Yeah, you see some
So-
weapons. None of them seems to be in a good shape or
Alright.
in any kind special.
I have to reload the page. Disconnected me somehow from Roll20.
Huh. Weird. Alright. Alyssa moves a bit further down the trail. Sees another big structure that seems to be a fortification wall. And another opening in the wall to the southeast, round about here.
There.
Exactly.
What? Where?
I send Esmeralda further to go look at the opening. Do I have that
Pearl-
range though?
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, what range is that actually?
Yeah,
It's 62
60 feet.
Yeah, okay.
That's not much. Oh, I see a boat, or Elisha sees a boat. Esmeralda sees a boat there that leads to somewhere, it seems.
The boat leads to somewhere? No, you see a river.
Well-
You see the same river that you noticed that you came down there.
Yeah, but the
And on
boat
the
is parked somewhere
and
that
the
leads to somewhere.
other side of the river, there is a boat beached on in front of some cavern entry. That is correct. And the rest of it seems to be beach with a bit of forest that Esmeralda sees.
Mm-hmm.
And Esmeralda also sees that there is a dragon sitting on top of that structure.
Oh dang.
None?
Do I? I don't see no dragon.
Wait, it's weird.
Oh,
Yeah.
now I see it.
Yeah.
Oh, is it the same dragon?
It is
that
the
we
same
saw?
dragon. Yeah, so far there is just one dragon that you've seen, so there is this
Interesting.
green dragon roaming and overlooking the scenery there. But it did not notice Esmeralda so far.
Neat. She does fly back in that case. And reports.
Alright.
Yeah, what
Guys?
did the others want to do?
I don't know.
I'm trying to figure
What
to
you
make
gonna
roll
do?
20 work again.
Get it to work. Da 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 do 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 do. Esmeralda does a little dance while waiting for
Alright, should be fine now.
Zoya to get out
Alright.
of her state of mind.
Don't give Baths any ideas for more conditions to throw at Zoya, please. So you tell us that the dragon is there, right? And that-
Yeah, and that there's
there
a
is a
beached boat.
Does it look like there's ruins there?
On the other side, not no.
Okay. So we know that there should be ruins. So we could try further south, I guess. But it's good to know that there's a boat there.
There do be a boat.
Correct, there is a boat.
There do be a boat.
Alright. Do we go further south?
I'd say so, yeah.
Yep.
Let's go.
What do you think?
Wanna go a little bit like in between those thingies?
You
Yeah.
down the path to the south, you see a brown bear roaming there, munching on some berries, minding
On
its
some
own,
bear.
minding its own
Well-
business.
Let the bear munch on berries. Let's not notice the meat.
Nice bear sounds.
There are bear sounds, yes.
I don't hear the bear sounds.
No?
That's okay.
Alright. You step out of the forest. There is a green plain in front of you with grass and weeds. And ending up it couple of feet in front of you in a natural cavern wall. Reminding you that you are still in Under Mountain for whatever reason.
I see a staircase there. You think it could be?
There it is.
A
Right where the dragon is. There.
Okay.
It's to the
Yeah.
southeast.
So the dragon is up there, so maybe you can. That's the
Ah,
way to
there,
walk
okay.
up on like the wall or tower or what it is.
So there
It's,
seems to be a passage down here too. So we could walk down here and then figure out where to go from there.
Yeah, why
so
not?
we are then we are outside of the wood.
The
and-
wood.
away from the
Yes.
weird creatures.
But the bear has moved.
Very.
All right. You sneak down there very carefully. You notice that the structure to the southeast there has a door.
Oh. Is it open?
No, it's not open, but
So
it has a door.
Here on the.
Yes, 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 exactly there.
so next to the passage there is a door.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I
Right.
guess let's go
That-
there.
Yeah, I guess.
I figured we should definitely go there.
All right. Sneaking down there, you hear the sounds of very big wasps that seem to be in quite a disturbance and trying to defend against a hungry bear.
Interesting.
They will figure it out themselves.
Yeah.
I don't think it's any of our business.
Do I even
That
have
is
wasp
my
sounds?
There's
I want wasp sounds.
Just
Wasp.
make.
there's a little opening in the wall. I can see through.
You sneaky bastard.
I did nothing.
I'm gonna fix this immediately.
Oh, there's
Oh,
even
no.
What is
more
Better.
here.
that? Brain?
Big brain time. No, where's the brain?
So is
I fixed it.
can we see through the door or through like
No,
a
it's
door?
a solid
key-
door made of metal. The
Does it have a
structure
keyhole?
also appears to be definitely man-made. So there are solid walls made out of bricks, and the door has indeed a keyhole. You could basically peek through if you want to.
Yes, please.
All right, you peek through it, and you see a room that has been turned basically upside down. Not in a literal sense, so don't ask.
I just wanted to.
Yeah, I
Had
know.
something like that. I think in level.
No, because that's
Level
what I
2?
thought.
No, the room is basically a mess, but it you can see that there are overturned and broken shelves.
All right.
Someone raided this.
Do we hear any noise coming from?
It's dead silent from the other side.
All right. Right, I can see on the other side, right? So I will dispel my familiar and make it reappear on the other side. If that works.
All right. Yeah, I mean you could do that. So owl appears on the other side.
All right.
And
that
as
does-
mentioned, there is a room that has definitely been ransacked,
Okay.
where you see the broken shelves that I mentioned, and tables that lie on the floor along with piles of old rugs and bleached human skulls. There
Okay.
is also a stuffed owlbear standing on its hind legs in the south corner, glaring ferociously. And a narrow door in the eastern corner of the room leads to a small chamber, the walls of which are lined with empty hooks.
Okay. Does it look? What? I mean, you said there is like stuffed owlbear. Does it look more like it could be some kind of room, like a reading room, or because you said there's hooks on the thing? What kind of hooks? Is it like for hanging clothes, or does it look like you could hang shackles?
No, yeah, it's
Shackles.
made for clothing.
All right. Is there anything else? Windows, doors?
There is another door to the south that is closed,
Whim doors.
Okay.
and that's about it.
All right. Well, I will let Owl I can't move it there, but we'll make the owl reappear on my shoulder.
Bloop.
And that's why there seems to be another door. The room seems a mess. It's like some kind of reading room. Should we try to get in, or do we want to
Reading room.
venture?
That sounds
Further.
awful.
Ew, reading, right?
No, not reading. I said breeding.
No, not
A
breeding.
reading room is great. A breeding room can also be great, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you still want to breed in a room, so you know.
It's a pure breed.
Should we
Oh, I
try
see
and-
goblins! Oh, I see goblins! Let's
looks
go!
It looks
Where?
like there is a door
Oh.
Yeah.
that leads like further in the building. Maybe we could travel while being in the building instead of whatever is out
Oh, yeah.
here. Although,
I mean,
Can we
try your
open it?
luck with the lock.
wait, although I'll see something else
Well,
down south.
you notice that there is definitely movement down south, and you see a couple of goblins.
Is it were-goblins?
Well, it is a couple of goblins, and they
Goblin.
approach Esmeralda and start to take out their javelins and
Oh God,
punch
no.
it.
She turns invisible, and
Nope.
oh God, what the fuck is that?
And then Esmeralda moves into the next cavern and sees a couple of huge bats hanging from the ceiling in that cavern that did not
Is
notice
interesting.
Esmeralda so far because she's invisible.
Yes, Esmeralda flies out of the cave.
No, I'm not gonna say anything.
Why not? Say it. Do it.
No, I'm pretty sure bats have, what is it called, keen sight, so they don't rely on like they
Yeah,
can
they don't
spot you when
rely
you're
on their-
invisible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
they're
They
sonar
do
thing.
sonar stuff,
Yeah.
and you can be invisible, but you can't make the sound not reflect from you. So,
Well, yeah.
but those still did not notice you since they were probably sleeping. The other goblins actually follow you.
Interesting.
They come there and see the rest of you and go, "Big people! Adventurous big people!"
Alyssa straight up walks to a somewhat safe distance and asks, "Hello, are you werebats?"
Hello, are you a dragon?
I'm not. I'm a
What a
tiefling.
rude question to ask.
I'm sorry, I like to be rude. It's just who I am.
Who told you about the bats?
A little bird whispered it to me.
Little birds? We don't like little birds here. And one of them
Yeah, I
runs
don't-
off.
I guess.
So what kind of bird?
A blue one. It was a blue jay.
They get into a defensive position and said, Did the bird actually speak to you?
No, it did not. I was told by someone that there was werebats here, and I am studying the lycanthropic thing of werebats, and I would like to find out more about you.
I'm gonna try and open the door while she has that conversation because I don't know how it's gonna end.
All right,
so-
you open the door. It's not even locked.
It's not locked. Okay,
No.
the door seems to be unlocked. That's good. Keep the door
Yeah,
open.
yeah.
Just-
You want to do what?
First, answer my question. Are you and your friends werebats?
The two goblins
im-
look at each
it's
other
important.
and say, "Well, yeah, we do stuff."
Can you prove it?
Not right now. It's
Can you-
you know we can't do it on command. It just happens sometimes.
Interesting.
I turn towards Alasha while she's having the conversation with the goblins. Like, maybe we should try and convince them to join us because it looks like we're gonna end up fighting the druid, and she wants them dead. So maybe we could have them as allies instead of fighting them.
That's what I thought,
It's a great idea.
because I'm pretty sure they would like to have more freedom of movement here. But we also don't know what they would do if they would have free reign. They are goblins after all.
Well,
Met a
I
couple of friendly
personally
ones.
don't care.
Well, yes, but we also met a couple of not so friendly.
To be fair, there was the ones that we started attacking without talking to at the beginning.
Those were.
I understand that they were not really friendly towards us.
I was
Well, these ones
actually
don't seem too
I
bad.
was actually thinking about it. Those were the only goblins that you ever killed over the course of the whole campaign.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
really nice bunch of people.
Goblins are bros.
Yes.
So,
Well, these ones seem friendly enough.
so what do you want here?
So I just look at Elisha and Zoya and nod and say, we were told by some druid that she wants you dead.
The
But
witch.
that is not.
The witch.
Yes, the witch. And that's not what we want. We kinda want to get rid of the witch, or the druid, or Willow, or whatever you want to call her.
Oh, is that a
And-
trick?
No. And we wanted to ask you to help us bring her down.
So you want us to fight the druid?
With us, yes.
First, come down here. Come down here. There is Valdemar. Valdemar can see you from where you are.
I come
Cool.
down there.
Right, the dragon.
Ah,
Valdemar the dragon.
Okay, let's move down there.
Good, good. So, now, why do you want to fight the druid? Yes. Can't hear
Well,
you.
I need your help. Why do we want to fight the druid?
Yes, exactly.
Well, the druid seems to be like corrupted in some way, and maybe
Evil
you have
witch.
more information, but we believe that the dragon is actually influencing her or almost possessing her and making her do this.
The dragon does what the dragon does. Eats people, sleeps, eats people, collects coins, eats people, sleeps. That's what dragons do.
So, has Willow always been like this since she arrived, or have you arrived after she was already here?
No, we always have been here, but, you know, Willow was always here, so hard to say. Willow is old. We're not so old. Goblins don't live that long.
And was she always like that?
I don't know, but she always cared about her bloody forest, and whenever we lighted up a fire, she sent her stupid animals to kill us. That is basically here is the only region where we're safe. There's stone anyway, so nothing can catch fire.
So she never really changed. She was always like this.
Nah, fuck do I know.
Because so far we're not really sure on what actually caused her to be the way she is right now, or if she always was like that, and what influence the dragon actually has, because we heard that the dragon had an influence over Willow.
It's a
You
lot
seem
of
to say
lot of complicated
Why?
words you use there. We just want to be here.
all right. Um, do you see the dragon as a threat?
Of course, he's a dragon. Told you. He eats, sleeps, collects treasure. Rinse and repeat.
Yes, but like, does he specifically hunt your kind, or?
Well, if we get too close to him, yes, he eats us.
All right.
We're more safer at night when Bat is good at hiding. We can hide as Bat.
Well, I mean yeah, that's a good trait to have, I guess. So how many of you are here?
Oh, we a big tribe. Never counted all of us. That's because I can't really tell one from the other. Specifically not when Bat.
And you're all goblins,
Yeah.
or do you have a shaman in your tribe?
A leader. We used to have. Casted him out. He's stupid.
What did he do, or why?
He greedy. He wanted to have dragon treasure. We have no interest in dragon treasure. Dragon too dangerous. Can kill us all in an instant, and he wanted to raid the dragon with us. Just thought now that we are all bats, we can do something against the dragon. Stupid wool.
And where's the shaman now, or where's your leader now?
Well, he hides in some sort of a cavern down the river, but very rarely appearing. Sometimes he just comes, but we just shoosh him away.
I see. And well, let's say we would actually try to get rid of Willow and or the dragon. Um, would you be able to help us in any way?
Maybe. What do you have to offer?
Well, the offer that we would have would be that Willow and the dragon would be gone. You would definitely have a benefit.
A blast. In the
Well,
forest.
you look capable. You have a very shiny stuff there. But others also had shiny stuff, and they all spread it all over the woods now, being composed now by plants.
What happened to them?
Eaten,
By the dragon?
partially. Sometimes even trees
enough.
attack. We don't go into the woods. Woods very weird.
Agree.
Well,
So nice.
Bless you.
nice. I see.
Well, glad you found us.
Oh, do you know anything about the sword on the dragon?
Hey, yeah, that looks funny, huh?
Yes.
Some-
Do you
some-
know how it got there?
Well, how do swords end up in your belly? Someone just forgot about it there. Left it. First you stick it in, then you forget it, then it's there.
Yeah, but I don't walk around with it.
Well, you know, he can't really reach his own head to scratch himself there. Maybe he just forgot about it as well.
I see.
Alyssa
Sounds
gets
plausible.
a bit closer to the one that's talking and says, I want to be a werebat as well.
I'm not sure if you can. You're not goblin.
I did some research and I actually can. For this, though, you would have to injure me.
You're one of those Captain Smarty Pants who reads books, huh?
Yes, I am able to read, and it makes life a lot easier for me.
We tried. There's just stupid books.
Did you try to read the books in the room there?
Yeah, it's all nonsense.
How did you get in there?
The door was unlocked.
Well,
when we arrived.
we
Oh,
usually
well.
look. I don't know about you people. You look weird, but we just use hands and push down, levers and such, and
I
then
don't
door
like using
opens.
hands. I don't like using hands. Sorry.
So, you could maybe use your mouth. Seems quite big.
Okay, I see.
But door is unlocked, and if door is locked, then we smash door.
Fair enough.
So you want to become bat?
Yes.
Why?
For personal reasons.
Outside matches her inside.
It does.
Well, maybe we make you bat when you. He then looks at the other goblin, and he just shrugs and just go on. And maybe you get rid of druid, and we make you bat. How about that?
Would be wonderful. That would be good.
Oh well, then I guess that's that.
Wait, I'm confused. I thought we were asking them to help us.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to be a bat.
So dragon is dragon, but elf witch is really causing us trouble. So maybe you get rid of her.
Do you know how to get rid of her? Or does she have any
Points.
weak
He
points?
points at his javelin and says, "You take this, and then you do step, step."
Step, kill.
Yes. How did you even get down here? You know nothing.
No, I mean, I know we can stab her. It
Ah.
was more like, do you know if she has any weak spots?
Well, if we would know about weak spots, we would probably stab her ourselves.
Roll my eyes. I guess.
Depends.
It's I guess if you stab her long enough, then she dead.
We hope so.
Tends to be what people do.
But usually she summons all kind of beasts and monsters and even trees. Trees are the worst.
Are they?
Yeah, big clubs.
Also,
They have arms as big as trees.
Makes sense, yeah.
So you promise to not hurt our people?
Yes.
we weren't planning.
Well,
to.
then you're free to move here. Oh, careful down south. There is a big monster with different heads. Very weird. We have it trapped, but don't go there.
Different heads.
Yes, has wings and one head looks like big cat and other head doesn't.
Oh no.
Okay,
It's a
let me guess.
chimera or something.
Yeah, exactly, chimera. Let me guess. Snake.
But we have it. Yeah, we have it trapped, but don't go there.
Yeah, I know.
So what do you do with it now that it's trapped?
Nothing.
Just keep it there.
We keep it trapped.
Just keep it trapped. That's a fair point.
You feed it or you let it starve to death?
Well, no idea what it eats, but sometimes just one curious little goblin goes there and never comes back. Probably feeding on them.
Interesting.
Does it talk?
Yes, it talks, but only lies. It's just stupid. We don't talk to it.
Interesting.
Wait, did you find it when you got here? Or did it come after you?
Well, at one point it did come after us, but we managed to trap it down there. Big room,
Ah,
green tiles.
okay.
So don't go there. Dangerous.
All right, we will keep that in mind. Anything else you can tell us about this place? So is everything south of here your camp? Or...
Yeah, mostly caverns. We don't use rooms much. Just we looted all of them, but there's not much in there. But we use caverns. Caverns good for bats to hang on.
That does make sense, yes.
Um. Well, I guess we have all the information we could get at the moment, or need at the moment.
Good.
So,
Well, there are rooms with big bed. Maybe you need bed.
which ones would that be?
Several. Most of them have beds in there. We don't know what the purpose of those rooms were. They were here when we arrived.
Interesting.
Oh. Well then, yeah, we probably will prepare a little bit and stick around for a bit and try to come up with a plan.
Good. Plans are good. Plans. We like plans.
Plans are the best.
Yeah.
They do be.
But careful. Vool always had plans, but they never worked out. Got a lot of us killed.
We'll keep that in mind.
Yes. All right.
Yo.
So,
which-
what did we do now?
We could venture further into the building and see if we find anything, or if at least we find a place where we could rest when the evening comes. Seems a bit more secure than sleeping outside.
That makes sense.
Alright. So while you do that, you notice that a small little rat squeaks and runs off.
Where was the rat?
Disappearing into one of the holes within the structure, just right about here. And escapes your sight.
How big is the hole?
Big enough for a rat.
Giant rat or a normal rat?
Normal rat.
Would Bean fit through it?
No.
Alright. I
So
can
you
go
wanna-
inside the building and see if I can see the rat from here.
Alright. You go inside the building and you can't spot the rat.
Alright.
So you wanna check out the room?
Yep.
Yeah, let's have a look around and see if we can find any useful information. So everyone comes in, I would close the door.
Alright. So everyone is in and you close the door behind you. You are then again alone with your thoughts in a dark room because there's no light in there. But since you all have dark vision, it's not a big deal.
I would check at the bookshelf just to see if there's any interesting books in there or
No,
on the floor.
nothing of interest. Some books about the history of the Sword Coast. Nothing that really catches your attention at the end of the day.
All right.
Is this a door in front of me?
That is a door, but it's open, so you can see various hooks inside of the room. That is where all those hooks are. Where
Hookers.
gloves could be
Hooker
hanging.
slots.
Can you repeat that?
Where you hang the hookers.
Yeah, it's an empty closet, actually.
Oh, it's just an empty closet.
Yes. Alright, and there's a door leading south.
Well, I'm
Let's explore the door leading south.
All right. The lock is broken, so the door opens easily. And you enter a bigger hallway that walks around a middle room, as it seems. And you see several other doors leading into it.
All right.
Okay.
Are the doors open?
No. Why is it black?
Or
All of those
they
doors,
open?
yes, all of those doors actually open without issues. The
The
locks,
goblins said they raided the place, right?
yeah, the locks are either smashed or have not even been locked so far. So as you start exploring the place, you see that all of this seems to be a some kind of guest quarters with 4 narrow wooden beds draped in dusty kilts and cobwebs. Next to each bed is a nightstand filled with unlit tapers. And the smaller rooms seem to be bathrooms,
All right.
each
Do
of
they
one
seem
is equipped
functional?
with a working sink, toilet, and bathtub, all carved from stone and fitted with rusty iron fixtures.
Are there
That's
any
the
like
usual
hints
thing.
on who has actually built these structures?
Not ominous. But definitely all the beds and the furniture and everything else is humanoid sized. So probably some people that are at least as big as you are.
Can you open this door for me?
Sure. There you go. I'll open a couple of doors for you since there is not much reason to not do so. And then most of those rooms seem to be vacant apartments or guest quarters. And the one that you just opened there is a very spacious bedroom with separate bathroom to itself, so probably reserved for important people.
All right.
Where you two, Zoya and Alyssa, are standing right now, you're actually not supposed to be. So,
Oh well, it was open and
yeah. That is a mistake. That should be closed.
Was it a
But
secret passage?
no, that was no secret passage. But it's on a different level. It's upstairs. So
Oh,
Okay.
just do like this.
So that's all we see in this level.
That is all you see in this level there. Right, correct.
Staircases leading upstairs or something.
No, there are no stairs or something like that. That is the whole structure that you have there in front of you.
Right.
All right. I think we found at least some rooms where we could sleep,
Hmm.
but there's nothing else of importance, I guess.
I think
Doesn't
so.
look like it.
Other than this small room here that bears nothing.
That's a bathroom.
Ah. Poop room.
Bathroom and closets. That's what they are. Nothing of
Interesting.
much importance.
Cool.
But yes, if you want to rest, those would be the perfect rooms for it. You even have different rooms for different people, so you could actually even split if you don't want to share rooms.
All right.
I look at my time orb. What does the time orb say?
You actually don't need to have a look at your time orb. You could just
Yeah.
look up to the sky and see that
but
it
I
is
want to be fancy.
your time orb. Interestingly enough, your time orb matches with the time that the sun is telling you. So it's around midday, probably even shortly after, according to the sun.
According to the sun.
I just want to check out these rooms here real quick.
Mm-hmm. There are more rooms and more doors. So there's this,
There's a boat.
and this. Wait a second.
I am sorry, I have been interrupted.
So you are in. The walls of this room are carved to look like natural rock, giving the chamber a cave-like appearance. The room has also been ransacked and contains 6 overturned beds, 6 empty chests, a shattered table, and 6 smashed chairs that are strewn about. A few bleached human skulls, wooden bowls, and wooden tankards also lie on the floor. There is actually also an intact canoe that hangs by hooks from the ceiling. Would be big enough to hold 6 persons, including their gear. Then the room to the south has a bathroom in it, as again then a working sink, toilet, and bathtub, all carved out of stone and fitted with rusty iron fixtures.
Nice.
And the room that you are standing in there right now is also was once some kind of a quarters room, strewn with broken furnishings. And a search there in the room reveals a pair of rusted but still functioning hunting traps.
Can
Why
I
is there a
take
boat
those?
in the room?
Yeah, sure, you can take those. And in the smaller room there, you find another lot of bear hooks that are lined at the wall. And having found those hunting traps beforehand, you would probably say this is for hanging meat.
Interesting.
So you take the 2 hunting traps?
Yes.
Good. You have now 2 functioning hunting traps.
Ooh, they're quite heavy, huh?
Yeah, they're made of iron. So maybe
You
you
want me
can
to carry them for you?
Yes, exactly. Just load everything on the elf.
Well, I'm still unencumbered because I'm strong.
Because you're stunk.
Just offering. You're free to carry them yourself.
I'm gonna I'm gonna carry them.
All right.
All right. That building to the south there is taller than the others. The roof is about 30 feet high, and iron spikes line with the peak, while carvings of basilisks, chimeras, dragons, and manticores snarl from where they perch on the outer walls. That door that you stand in front of has paintings on it, definitely made from goblins, since you already encountered a lot of them and know of their incredible art skills. And you'd say it resembles a skull, and some of the runes below the skull say "Don't go there" in Goblin.
Tender.
That's probably where the chimera is. Yeah, I guess. So
So would it be like somewhere further down here? That it says don't to not continue further in this room, right?
What? No, we're
Or
talking about
down
this.
south.
We're talking about this door here.
Okay. Oh, the door. Okay. Okay.
is the door locked?
So you try it out, and you notice that it's not locked, but takes a bit of effort to open it. Seems to be kind of blocked from the other side.
Then I would not like completely force it open. That's possible.
Well, you can push it a bit, and you don't see any light coming from the other side, but you hear a roar and a sniffing. Goes like.
Ew. Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, I think we should
I have
leave that
I have a
closed.
mirror. I have one of those like mirror like on a stick. I can put the mirror through the door and see what I can see in the room.
Alright, the mirror is not catching any light from the other side, and so you also have a difficult time, but you see quite a big creature being trapped there in one part of the room.
All right.
The goblins did say it speaks.
Speaks, yeah.
Hmm.
I guess we leave again and go gather some force to fight the druid.
I mean, the creature speaks. If we could convince the creature to help us, that would already be like one of the creatures helping us.
Maybe it's also a friend of the druid. We don't know.
I don't know. Do you think the druid would have left it trapped down here if it was a friend?
True.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Well, but the druid also asked for our help to get rid of the goblin.
Well,
So
maybe
if it
let's
was,
see what it has to say at least.
well,
The goblin did say
Want
it
to?
lies, so we still be careful.
But also that rat earlier was weird. What if it's some kind of informant for the druid? We know that Zestra has rat informants, so it could be that it listened into our conversation with the goblin.
It's not too far-fetched, actually.
They
So,
trapped in there, so we could still try and
where are we
maybe
dropping,
talk to
boys?
it.
So,
We could try and talk to the creature. See
well,
if
if
it
you want to.
replies.
I'm not that charismatic, so I'll leave that to you.
Oh, I'm pretty charismatic.
Do you want to talk to the creature, or should I talk to
Do you
the
want to try
creature?
your luck?
I don't see the creatures, but I think I'm gonna talk to it.
And we can. We didn't see the cloakers either. We can just try and communicate from the door.
Let's hope I speak its language. Where's the door?
there.
Do we
Oh,
know anything
right
about
there.
chimeras generally? There be any
I'm
reason
pretty sure
for us
they're
to know?
beasts.
Like, no, not us as players, but
Oh,
Well, it is definitely not the first one that you encountered.
is it not?
No.
we found manticores.
Chimeras.
Ah, yeah, well,
the
that...
manticores.
Yeah, they are kind of similar. Good, alright, so, you want to talk to a door then?
Yeah, I
The door is
knock,
open. We
I
can.
guess.
The door is open.
I guess I open the door,
Alright,
but
you
don't step in.
put a bit of force into the door and you open it. You see a room that has green tiles all over the floor. Seems like a very fancy room, actually.
What a waste.
And there is an altar in the middle of the room there, with blood-stained marble surrounding it, and also some dead humanoids in cultist robes scattered all over the floor. And indeed, as you open the door, you immediately see the chimera that handout looks like this. It has a dragon hat, a goat hat, and a lion hat. And as you open the door, it roars at you, but not attacking immediately.
Hello.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
I say hello in common.
All right, it answers you in an. Wait, do you speak Draconic?
I don't know.
I think we got one potion of.
I don't.
All right, it answers you in an unknown language.
Oh dang.
Okay. Yeah, we have 2 potions of understand languages. But we cannot talk if with the potion of understand language. We just understand what it says.
Okay.
Wait, so we'll comprehend languages. It won't understand us still, right?
No.
Uh,
Well, it seemed to answer at least.
but the
Or
goblin
to
said they
react.
talked to it.
You could try and talk in speak in Goblin, maybe. Turn
Maybe?
Galasha.
Yeah, then Alasha would just translate.
All right, you say something in Goblin there, and again you get an answer that you can't understand.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
I try
Well.
asking or saying hello in Elvish. See if it maybe.
It still does not understand you, then moves back to the altar, and then steps on it, and you see that some magic flows around it, and it then disappears.
What?
Okay.
Okay, is it still in there?
Well, you can't see it from where you're standing.
I will take a peek in it.
I couldn't understand you.
No,
Sorry.
me
I
neither.
didn't hear anything.
I will have Faye peek inside the room, just like barely in the room, just so
All
it
right,
can
so
see.
you sneak into the room there, have a look around. There is actually no chimera anymore.
Try swooping around.
It was it stood on something right before it disappeared.
Yes, the altar.
So we'll have the owl fly to the altar.
All right, yep. Seems as mentioned, it's a blood-stained marble altar
Okay.
with dead cultist lying near to it.
Very
Yeah, I'll
interesting.
fly back.
Otherwise, the room seems to be empty and quiet now.
I guess we leave in that case.
We should probably close the door though.
Yeah.
All right, so you close the door back then behind you. Boop, closed. All right, more doors.
Yes.
I wonder if the goblins
don't-
know what just happened.
if we're not in a rush, I would take 10 minutes to cast to ritual cast detect magic, and then I would have a peek at the door inside the room again just to see if we can see something.
Okay.
Because
Sounds
it's
about right.
it's definitely not normal.
Because
Well,
if
I'm
this
not in
is
a rush.
primarily headlocked in and just noped on us, it's not good.
All right. So wait, where's everyone else? Exploring further. Okay, well they explore further down here. I will cast detect magic and then look into the room again.
Alright, you cast detect magic and you see that the altar is definitely emitting magic.
What kind of scroll magic?
Summoning.
Okay.
Okay.
And also divination. It is definitely some kind of occultist altar.
Smash it.
Are they
I don't
called
think that'd be a
goblins
good
or
idea, but we
humans?
could do it.
Are they called as goblins?
No, the cultists that were lying on the floor all were basically bigger than goblins, humanoids.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Elisha, I see you want to get in there.
No, I just wanted to check. Maybe you have done it already and just didn't load, so all
No.
good. What are these? Some kind of carpets or?
That
Or what's that?
was seems to be like it was a training area. There are woven black mat covers on the floor, and dented shields hang from the wall hooks.
Interesting.
All right.
And Elisa, well, you are in a different room. This apartment consists of a spacious barracks and smaller adjoining bathrooms. 6 wooden bunk beds with moldy mattresses standing around. Discarded rugs, emptied chest, broken dishware, and rusty weapons lie scattered about.
Nice. The bedroom.
Right. And the southern room there for Elisha are 7 wooden mannequins stacked in rusty helms and breastplates occupy this room. 3 of the mannequins have rusty daggers sticking out of them.
Like blade first or handle first?
Blade first.
So they are trying to hurt us.
They would, if you
Yeah.
interact with the mannequins, yes.
Then I will move out again.
This is maybe something that Yagwu could tell you more about.
Please, Yagu, tell us more about.
Interacting with mannequins?
Yeah, interacting with mannequins, having woven black mat covers on the floor and stuff. So that reminds you of your monastery.
Let us see. Do I roll?
You get a link
Yes, sir.
flashback to your
Linked.
big thighed girlfriend.
Diet girl.
Okay.
The altar, and then I will check the
Well,
rooms.
Yagwu,
they check.
you definitely remember the furniture in that room. It reminds you of your younger days of training, where you had to fight wooden mannequins with deadly weapons sticking out of them, trying to not get hurt by the movement that you induced yourself on those mannequins. The
see.
woven mats on the floor are there to soften your falling while you train and learn the martial arts.
Okay, so I turn to the rest and tell them, well, these are basically this is just a training room of sorts.
Not just of sorts, it is definitely a training room. Mostly
Yes,
for martial
but-
arts.
Is there any magic coming from either of the rooms here?
Nope.
Okay.
Just the
What do you see
magic,
on the
the
back?
magic of people being trained there, sweating and trying to get better. This is the magic of training.
Lovely.
Magic.
Is it accompanied by a sensory smell?
Yes, and the smell you can't really put a finger on that smell, but it definitely sounds like or smells like
Body odor.
Teen
the
spirit.
Jackie Chan.
The jacket. There's
I never understood why they call certain perfumes eau de toilette, because that's just toilet water, and I don't want to fucking spray myself with toilet water.
Yeah. I feel you. I had that same issue.
well, I'm pretty sure there's a good explanation for that, but I don't know it. There's some more werebats, I guess.
There are some more
Or-
werebats hanging from the ceilings in that cave. From where you're standing, you can only make out the shapes, and that they are all covered in their own wings, trying to sleep there.
Alright.
You are disturbing them. So then let's
Yep.
get a bit quicker about the rooms down here. You can explore them
Yeah.
as you would like to.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask if we want to continue like this because it would take a while.
Yes.
People. What is this? Is this a boar?
Yeah, there is a wild boar sniffing on stuff there on the ground, but still minding its own business. There is another door, and then... So,
Very
then let
nice.
me quickly describe a bit stuff there. So, Alyssa, you are standing in something that seems to be like a mensa where people eat. A lot of turned over tables and benches.
Nice. I like it.
While the other room where Alyssa walked by is also filled with bunk beds.
Hmm. Very cool.
Elisha.
Thank you, Kanye.
Yes, yeah. And then next page, what else is there? You are in... where are you actually? Yeah, you can ignore the boars. They ignore you for the time being. It's
Can we
just
ride them?
regular boars. You could
Why would you ride?
if you would actually try that with animal handling and
Luck.
luck.
Super glue.
But you're also too
Only
big
thing
for an
about-
usual boar. You would probably give the poor boar a hard time to ride it.
Well, I can take 2 boars.
One for each leg.
Yes.
Just boots for you.
Only thing about
Board.
this type of lighting, we don't see what we already opened, and so if like people are walking through 5 rooms while I'm taking notes, I come back, I don't see which rooms we already explored.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
give Zoya a hard time then.
Woo!
Yeah, because Zoya didn't have enough of a hard time already, right?
All right, then let's do this in a different way. I'll open a couple of doors for you and describe the rest of the rooms in
Hold
one
the door.
go. You can go exploring as you wish. There is nothing hostile in there, so don't you worry.
What are
Just
these
fast
carrots
walking.
on the wall?
Carrots on the wall?
Carrots.
There's carrots.
Ah, those.
It's
in
just
the wall.
carrots.
You are in...
Hard.
Wait, you are in...
Is this the glory hole room?
No. But as you enter the room, the only thing that you notice is that all kind of sounds are being suppressed. You can't even hear yourself breathing anymore. And hanging from rods mounted to the walls are dozen empty iron bird cages. And countless of old feathers lie strewn across the dusty floor.
Eh?
Hmm. So if I like whisper or something, then
No, you don't even hear yourself whispering.
What?
only in this room. So if I go over here, then
Then you can hear yourself again.
oh, okay.
I mean, it would make sense if it was soundproof, but like everything in there is just mute.
Yes,
Well, it's
completely.
magic.
Interesting.
And down south, where Zoya is basically, in this room, are some kind of beast cages. Contains 6 empty iron cages. Each is 5 feet on the side and secured with a rusty padlock. And all of them are empty.
Also, on a side note that probably nobody's interested in, but Babs, I'm done with your letter. You'll be receiving it soon.
Yay! Thank you so much.
Yes. I made everything myself, or almost everything.
So, and another room that you find is seems to be some kind of a prayer room because there are prayer mats all over the floor. And there is an empty vestry. Smaller room to the north has bare hooks on the walls.
Do we see anything magic in any of the other room, or like in the room where it's all quiet?
Well, where it's all quiet, your detect magic reveals that the whole room seems to be emitting a slight kind of magic. And it seems as this magic is the source of the silence in this room.
All right.
Right. It's bloody right.
Alright. Also, I need a quick bio break. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, I'm counting.
God, making Christmas cards is ass. I made one Christmas card for Beth's and one for my boss. And my mom was, oh, can you make Christmas cards for this and for that and for them? Like, yes. Yeah. Then, yeah, but it's your grandpa. Yes, I know it's my grandpa. And oh my god, maybe he's gonna die soon. I say, yeah, don't rub it in, please.
Mom used to be
Oh,
like that
yeah.
as well. Like, can you do me a birthday card? For when? For in 3 hours because I forgot to buy one? No?
Thanks, Mom. Appreciated.
Yeah.
But hey, she's right after all.
Yeah, but I mean, something can be right or
Like-
reasonable and still suck.
Yeah, my sister said she would make him a card, but I now have to make him a card as well, because it's my birthday.
Okay, yeah. When
Like, she's the one that always calls him and stuff, which is kinda, yeah, it's my dude, I should be more active in yo. But like, I always forget. My mom's the kind of person that hates calling others. She hates being on the phone with people. But like, you should call them more. Like,
Yeah, that's why she says you should call them.
oh yeah.
So she doesn't have to.
Drawing with a light green pen on a somewhat lightish blue paper, and it's not really visible, but that's okay.
I'm big.
Welcome back.
Hello, Beck, I am Dad.
Hello, Dad. Alright. So, summing everything up, this place was probably once used by some sort of cultists or monks, actually. You found training rooms, prayer
Monkists.
rooms, a lot of barracks, and all of it is deserted now for a long time, and also ransacked by probably the goblins.
Oops.
Yay! You found the
The
features.
Probablins.
Yeah, it was like, I just want to see what it is because it looked interesting.
Yeah, it is
What was
interesting
that?
actually. That is a nice feature where you can do stuff and
Why
effects.
can you do that?
What? Where? How?
I want to do that too.
You see the little lightning thing in the toolbar?
No.
No, you
Oh.
don't see it because you don't have the add-on installed.
Lightning thing in the toolbar.
I'm used to not being allowed to
Yeah,
do
in
the
the
cool
toolbar you
stuff.
have like the arrow, then you have the box thing, then you have the brush thing, and then you have a lightning.
Oh, right.
Oh.
And then when you click on that, you can basically choose the kind of
Oh.
effect, and then you choose the effect, and then you choose basically the how it would like to look like. And then you have frost, for example, and then you can do like an explosion and stuff. So you can use that to animate your own spells if you want to. The interesting things are beam, for example, where you then actually have to hold and drag the direction of the beam. But if you do spells that correspond with that, you can use this. It's very nice.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to derail it. I just saw it and was like, let me check what that is. And I thought it would maybe just like show me like a cone or something. And
No, it does. It does
Yeah.
actually funny effects.
This is dope.
Right? It is cool, isn't it?
I just don't see anything.
Fight me. Okay.
Whee! So many effects.
I mean, I have the thing, but I don't see anything.
Yeah, it
It's-
sometimes just takes a bit time to load.
Well, if that's gonna be the case, then you will see a shit ton of stuff happening.
Yeah,
soon.
sometimes then it just everything comes one after the other. So.
No, we see the stuff that you do, but you
Really?
apparently don't see them. Yeah.
So my death beam,
Yeah,
Yes,
we've
it was
we've seen your
straight
death
at me.
beams.
Yep, we saw it.
nice.
Ooh,
you're
a gay
gay
beam.
now.
A gay beam.
That is magic missile, actually.
Lille skedoodle is now noodle.
Magic beam.
This card is so fucking awful. That's okay.
Whee! There, I sent you stuff.
Boom.
Now it happened all at once.
Well,
What
once
the
it's
fuck?
loaded, then it's working better. So when it's loaded once, then you can start using it better. Anyhow, that's
Where
that's
were
the
we?
thing. So where
How
were
it
we
works?
actually? Yoo-hoo! Now I give you something
Sorry.
to play around.
Yes.
Good. Also, the word amongst the goblin seems to have spread, and they stopped interacting with you for now. So they just accept your presence there. All is fine. But if you want to talk to them, you can actually do this. But the other ones that you initially talked to are not around. At least not
I
right
would
now.
I would approach one and ask if it's normal that the chimera disappears from the room.
Yeah.
Disappears!
Well, sometimes it disappears, sometimes it just comes back.
Where does it go?
Shrugs. No
So
idea.
you haven't really captured it.
Well, it's not leaving the room.
Ah.
Good thing we closed
Well,
the door.
it is, but you know.
So how much time does it usually come back?
Depends. We do not conduct research like you people do. We're not big people. We just avoid the room. Sometimes
Have
it's
you-
there, sometimes it's not.
How do you talk to the chimera?
Well, the same way we talk to you right now.
Does it understand you?
Nah, just does stupid things, roars and says something in a language we don't understand.
Ah. Has any of you tried using that altar thing the chimera just has in there?
Well, we don't dare to go in there. It is a pretty big monster at the end.
Yeah, but you came here first, right?
Yeah, but that we lost a couple of guys there. They just tried to do something with the altar, and then the monster appeared and killed everyone.
Oh. So that's where the chimera came from, the altar.
Maybe.
Okay.
We know shamans. We have no
Fair
idea.
enough.
Apparently you captured it.
Well, we just tried to keep the door shut, so as long as it's not leaving the room, we're fine. Sometimes some children go there and get eaten.
Very well.
They have goblin children here.
Do they have
Um,
orphans?
And they feed them to the chimera. I don't.
As it should be.
Goblin children don't have very good fates, do they?
They came here. No, they said they didn't feed it.
Well, yeah, we just tried to avoid that room.
Makes sense.
All right. The sleeping quarters, the one outside in the other building. Does anyone use them? Is there anyone there
Nah,
usually?
we don't use them. Nobody there. People long gone. We just found their stuff and used it.
All right. Have you ever noticed rats doing weird things?
Like
spying on
what?
people?
No, well, what?
Following people?
Spying
Like
rats?
follow-
No, we eat
Yeah,
most of them.
You eat most of them? That's a good thing.
Yeah, rats are tasty. Fresh meat.
Yeah, sounds really, really tasty. Guess they don't use them. We could use it at sleeping quarter for now. If we stay here.
Yes, yes, sleep. Stay.
What do we do?
Well,
Ask.
I think we
Other-
need to decide what we want to do now. I mean,
Just in theory, we found a boat. And the river seems to lead somewhere that is not here. Do we have any business here? Do we actually need to take care of whatever's going on here?
Yes.
Why?
I want to be Batman. I want to be Batman.
that girl.
Aside from that, I'm sure Nightshade, if we end up going back to Skullport at some point, will be able to help you or experiment on you to get you bat wings.
This is why we can't have nice
Aside
things.
from that, do we have any reason to actually stay here?
I don't know.
There's a
treasure?
weird. We don't really. There's a weird dragon with a sword. We don't really know what its deal is. There's weird dry flappers. We don't really know what their deal is. There's a droid that is shady.
You really don't really know what the deal is.
Did we have to unpetrify that bullfrog to know what his deal is?
Well, we needed to test the machine, so you'd rather unpetrify a frog than try and petrify some of ours.
Well, true that, but still. Well, I mean,
As I think Elisha can confirm, it's not something you would necessarily want to experience.
no, but there would have been other means. We could have petrified something else, like something to eat or whatever. So it wouldn't have had to be a living creature.
Yeah, but we do not know if it has different effects on a living creature, and a piece of meat can't tell us what happens when you get petrified.
Well, yes, but we still don't know everything just because we tried this now.
Oh no, we don't. But my question was more like, do we really have any business here?
Well, I mean, I know what it feels like to have your place taken and be an outcast and be forced to go somewhere else. So I would be willing to help these little flappy ones, especially because the druid seems to be
Didn't sit
Yeah, a
that
little bit
didn't,
mad.
didn't seem that small to me.
Sorry, come again?
He said those little flappy ones, and I was like, they didn't look that
Yeah.
small
Oh
to
yeah.
me.
Well, yes, but they're very close to extinction, as it seems like, or at least this
Maybe not small,
tribe
but
here.
helpless.
Yes. And well, I mean, we also don't know if it will come back and haunt us if we just leave the dragon as it is. Because
I
we
agree
all
with
heard
Olaf.
the whispers, right? About containing the evil.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
we've also seen what, well, Hallister did, or what he created, and what is possible in this dun cave.
Anything is possible
Sure.
if you're old as fucking powerful.
Yeah. So what if there's something that's gonna happen that will affect us, Skullport, or even Waterdeep?
Well,
It's a fair point, I guess.
I guess we gotta take the chance? Or not?
Well, I mean, I would not force you or anything, but those are just the thoughts that go on in
I
my
mean,
mind.
we could still come back at some later point, I guess.
We could, yeah. Would you really want to be a bat? Alyssa stands there and like pointer fingers at each other, doing the yeah, but you know I really want to be a werebat.
Wait, why is it though that you have this strong urge to become a werebat?
She quiets down a bit and looks at her feet and says, "I just think they're really cool."
Well, you're cool too.
Yeah, but I could be even cooler, you know?
Well, does it have any negative side effects for you?
In the books that I've read, it says you become a bit more bloodluster if you give in. But I still have you guys to calm me down. And as in
Do we want to
bloodluster,
deal with that, though? That's the other question.
well, you're dealing with me right now, and I could just say one day of another, like, hell yeah, I just kill everything now. But like, it also has great benefits. As in,
Well, I'm more worried about if we have discussions with someone and you then all of a sudden deciding that you thirst for that person or creature's blood.
yeah, like not like that. It's more of a thing if you were to do negotiation and you would be like more brutal, like not that you would just want to kill everything in sight.
Oh, but still, I just don't want to run into fights that would be preventable, you know?
I can contain myself, Alyssa says and pouts.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, in the end, it's your decision. But for me, this wouldn't be the main reason why I would want to solve this conflict.
Well, what would it be?
Well, as I said, I
Oh
can't
yeah,
really just leave this place, or I don't. If possible, I would not like to leave this place with just leaving it the same way as it is right now, with things unsolved.
so what about you guys? Alyssa looks at Yagwu and Zoya. Especially you, Yagwu.
I share the sentiment of Alasha. I empathize all too much with these goblins and the situation they find themselves in, so I think we might as well give it a shot while we're here. We haven't been exactly diligent in going back to previous floors, so I don't think we're ever gonna come back, actually.
I mean, I guess that
Oh,
It
wait a
would be
minute. Sudden realization. Just hold on a thought. What if the altar is a portal, like one of the doors?
That is really interesting.
That is actually a really interesting thought, and we should
He gave
definitely
me
check
a
it out.
map. He gave me a map of the water bodies, and he gave me a map of the portals, right?
Yes.
And he says the water bodies do not change. So we could figure it out as compared as to how far it is from the river.
Well, if the map is detailed enough, then that's a fair point, and we could
We're
try.
on which level are we now?
On level 5. Let
5
me
or
just
6,
check
yeah.
if
So we're on level 5. Okay.
let me check something. We don't have a map of level 5 per se, but we do have the map ish of the portals and
And there
Wait,
seem
let
to
me
be
check.
3. There should be 3 portals, as it seems, or at least 2 portals, probably.
There's 3 on level 5. No,
Yes.
well, there's 3, yeah, that lead to level 5. It could be the same portal that leads to different places, or 3 different ones that lead. We
So-
don't know that.
There's a big chance that that could actually be one of them.
Could be.
Okay, but the question is, where does it lead? Because we
So
found
before
the
we
man.
Okay.
I did ask him to put the portals on the map that he drew before we left. So do we find any portal near the water body of where we are now?
Well, do you even have a map of level 5?
Not the one of level 5, but I have the map that the innkeeper of the Yawning Portal drew, and he told us to stick to the water. He said that a lot has changed and that a lot of levels had been added, but that the water bodies seem to not have changed.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to check if is we've managed to
He
figure
never,
out where
he
the
never
river
really.
is.
He gave you basically a sheet of paper where he drew how the portals are basically connected with each other, but that does not correspond to water bodies of some sort. So you can't actually make out where those portals actually are. Not even if you know where the water bodies are. I mean, you know where the river is, but that does not tell you where a portal might be located.
Right.
Okay. Were the manticores we found on level 1 or level 2?
1.
1. Okay. So at least we know that's not going
Who was
there, because that
who
was
was the
a good.
bazaar, right?
Yeah,
2
2
was
was
the
the
bazaar.
2 was the bazaar, 3 was Azrok's Legion, 4 is the Aboleth.
So there's a good chance that's actually a portal, because if it led to another place on this floor, then the goblins probably would have seen the chimera running around.
Based on the detect magic, like on the type of magic, which is summoning and divination, would it even be possible for it to be a portal?
Could be.
Isn't gate and shit summoning?
I think so, but I just wanted to.
Yeah. By the stuff that by your limited arcane knowledge, it could be. I mean, the chimera is probably just not appearing out of thin air.
Yes.
Okay, so, but real quick before we go to the portal hunt, let's just say, just about the dragon and the druid. So, if we want to do something about it, my best bet, or at the moment with the information I have, would probably be to try and like either free or I don't know, cure the dragon. And if the dragon really has hold or a grip on Willow, then I hope that we can turn her sane again, because she really seems to be a little bit weird. And because I think having a druid here that looks after the forest would generally be a good thing.
Yes, I agree.
Not the way she does it right now.
The dragon seems to be our best bet.
I would definitely go for the dragon instead of just going for Willow head-on.
Having the forest turn to something more normal will probably allow the goblin children to roam free instead of walking around rooms and ending up fighting, facing chimeras, I guess.
Well, would the goblin children want that?
Do you ever think about the children, Zoya?
Constantly.
They want
Do
it
you-
her
not
case,
eaten by a
constantly.
chimera.
Do you even care?
Well, kind of.
Well, they could even ride Flappy Birds. If they get along, of course.
So we want to
Flap
try and
along.
talk.
Right.
Do we want to try and approach the dragon? Or do we want to have like a rest and then approach the dragon the day after?
Well, before we do that, maybe we inspect the portal.
I think we
Again,
could
yeah.
check that out. And then we're not in a hurry to attack dragon. By the way, Buffs, do we know, like, do dragons have like normal sleep cycles? Do they sleep at night? Are they active at night? Or
Depends on the type of dragon. You could do me a nature check to find out more, since the color of this dragon is pretty obvious.
Queen.
Queen.
Queen Dragon?
The Dragon Queen. Dwagosa.
Alright.
With guidance. Alright.
Yes, I want to guide myself in recalling the information.
Creatures and monsters.
17.
Hey, that is quite something. They are actually sorted by alphabet. There you are. Alright, what you recall about green dragons is, first of all, they are more on the malicious side and quite trickery actually. And according to the size of that thing that you've seen, you would say that he is probably in between 100 and 150 years old.
Is that like Elder Dragon territory or
I think
a
that's
younger dragon?
It's
really
in
old.
between young and adult.
Oh god, it's an adolescent.
So it's a teen.
Yeah, let's call it
Or a
young
tween.
adult.
Tween. Okay.
Young adult, and they are the most cunning and treacherous of the true dragon colors, and use misdirection and trickery to get the upper hand against their enemies, and mostly are nasty-tempered and thoroughly evil.
Neat.
Then green dragon don't have a specific day and night cycle, but they sleep quite a lot, like most true dragons.
Are they
And
false dragons?
no, but they are like chromatic dragons, which are considered not to
Ah.
be true dragons. Everything that is basically like a usual
blue, red.
yeah, exactly. The
Yeah,
real
okay.
true colors are considered to be true dragons, while the chromatic ones are then a different kind.
Everything is chrome in the future. It's Futurama Dragon. Future dragons.
And but they hunt at daytime.
We should try to sneak up at night and just Arthur like pull out the sword with all our might.
That's what I thought. Maybe we could surprise it a little bit and
Maybe we do.
get some advantage. So,
We equip the sneaky armor.
so Buffs, how would you rule that if we would go like to bed really early and then like get up when it's still
Really
like
late.
night,
Mm-hmm.
So we just like push our long rest a little bit further in time, and then get up when it's still like night.
Mm-hmm.
Would you
Actually,
allow that?
easily to be done. I mean, you can the long rest contains of several parts, and just one of them is actually sleeping at the end of the day, and you could shuffle those parts of the long rest around, like for example, doing your camp setup then earlier, and then eat something, go to sleep early, and all that stuff. That's absolutely possible. No problems at all.
Ooh.
All right, because then I could prepare locate creature if we don't find him, or he
Look at the creature.
somehow, yes, if he somehow like
All right, then let's do the following then. You choose a room where you prepare your long rest business. I mean, you have quite some to choose from. All of them are suitable for long resting, and there is no shortage of beds in this so form a monastery or temple or cultist place of whatsoever. One of them with a couple of beds is, for example, right here, just next to the weirdly silenced room.
Silence magic.
And now, since we are approaching the end of our session, I'd like you to write the stuff that you do for your long rest down, so that you remember the next time. Since I don't know if we're going to play next week, since we are, yeah, in holiday season right now. So Thursday is
I'll
Christmas, and
play the 27th, but I'd be up for session
yeah,
during
yeah,
the
we
week
we
after the
we
27th
figured it
or
out.
something.
Just exactly, we figure out our next session. But I want you to note down what you actually want to do and why you are preparing certain spells right now. So be extra um, careful what you do right now. I don't want you to have no idea what you are up to next session. So it might be our next session might be next year. So as bad as it sounds, but it's definitely possible that we don't find a date in a couple of weeks now. So yeah, please
oh,
describe me your long rest and what you want to do, and then we'll figure it out.
all right. And
Mhm.
just in general about the time right now, how high in the sky does the sun end?
It's approaching evening since you spend a lot of time searching those rooms. So we are going towards evening.
Okay, so
Need to
then
kill
if we want
Kevin.
to start earlier, blah blah blah, then
You'd
we wouldn't
probably
have like a lot of time. But
you
if we,
still should start right now with setting up
yeah,
camp and preparing rations and whatever.
all right. Any objections to the plan or?
Nope.
Yep.
Works for me.
All right, good. So you prepare locate creature, right?
Yes.
I don't think we. Oh, do we still need that? The dragon is big. We should be able to find it, right?
Well, we do a long rest and we don't know where
Well,
we'll
dragon
be.
also moves. It's not staying at one place, and
Fair enough.
maybe if you want to ambush it, it could probably be of use to have a location spell.
Fair enough. I mean, originally it was for the goblins. Since we found the goblins, now it was more
Mm.
like a question if we actually need it or not.
Locate creature does 1,000 feet or something like that, right? It's quite
Yep.
long range.
Well, I think it's supposed to be.
Yeah, 1,000 feet actually. Yeah, that is quite a range.
Quite a good.
Check for possible gates in Chimera room. Yes, that is also a thing. So finally, you start to interact with the gates. Yay!
Yeah, we just have to like look out for rune stuff.
Good. So there's that. And I guess, Elisha, you are disclosing your knowledge about green dragons to the rest of
Yes.
the group, right?
Of course.
All right. Which then actually also reveals what kind of breath weapon a green dragon has.
Yeah.
And it's a poison breath. So if you have anything to prepare against that, green dragons breath poison. Literally.
Poison.
They are also amphibious, so it can breathe air and water.
Ew.
And they are quite intelligent.
Smart boy.
They don't count as demons, right?
No, they count as dragons, as any dragon does.
Wait, I'm a bit. I gotta look up something.
Yeah, funny that they use the same art for any kind of green dragon in all the adventures. So if any of you ever played Lost Mines of Phandelver, it's the same artwork, and here it is. There you have a green dragon.
Wait.
That's how they look like. Green dragons. Good. So then, we are 8 minutes to the hour. So if you guys don't have anything else that you would like to prepare or tell me in front of that, take this as a no.
I can't really prepare anything.
Yeah, you're not a preparing person, I know. Then, my last words, if we actually don't get to play this year, then I'd say, guys, we had a blast of a year, despite all the difficulties and the bullshit that is going around on outside of our doors. And we managed to actually make the whole time that we spent together worthwhile. I had a hell lot of fun with you. And I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year if we don't talk to each other in the meantime. And if you feel bored on Christmas Eve or something like that, I'm actually doing some kind of a social gathering on Discord, a tavern meet basically, where we just chat and have dinner together for everyone who is left alone this year. So if you feel bored or something like that, or you're getting sick of spending time with your family, feel free to join. Just drop me a message and I'll move you into the channel. That also goes for the people that are watching at our stream. And thank you for your loyalty. Thank you for watching. And I wish you all a nice and pleasant time with your families.
Yeah. And Bubs, I do have a question.
Yes, let me quickly stop the stream and then see you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.